Ford Field has already given us 3 state champions on this Friday, but now we've reached Friday's headliner, the Division II championship game. From just south of Grand Rapids, Byron Center is a finalist first-timer. The Bulldogs are 12-1 and ready to hang their first football banner. Championships are nothing new at Orchard Lake St. Mary's, but they are for this group of Eaglets, making their first finals trip in 8 years, looking for their 9th championship in school history. It's the MHSAA Division II State Championship game from Ford Field, and it's proudly presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
And what a day it has been, and what a night we expect. With my good friend and my partner, Rob Rubick, I'm Matt Shepard. Byron Center here for the first time. St. Mary's has been here plenty. How much does experience matter, do you think?
Well, sometimes I think more with the coaches, Shep, than with the team, because these players, it doesn't really matter. Like if you're a sophomore or junior on Orchard Lake, it's still your first time there as well. So it's a situation where I think ultimately, who plays better today? Who can protect the passer? Who can open up holes in the run game?
All right, Byron Center's played really well all season long, 12-1 on the year. The big reason, their quarterback, he truly is a dual threat, isn't he?
Well, Landon Tungate, when you talk to quarterbacks in this state who coach high school football, or rather coaches in this state that coach high school football, they will tell you that's the guy they're looking for. They're looking for a guy that can run the ball, who can throw the ball, but more importantly, who understands the offense, how to protect the ball, not turn them over, not put you in bad situations, read the defense, take what's there. He's a very cerebral quarterback, besides being a dual threat.
He's got big arms. Speaking of quarterbacks, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, for the first time under Jermaine Gonzalez, goes with 2 quarterbacks. The sophomore, his son, Jabin Gonzalez, and Alex Newell. He told us both have forced their way into rotating to a certain extent because of their talents. But their talent is deep at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They've got big names, big bodies, going to big schools.
Yeah, the quarterback, this is not a quarterback-driven team per se. The quarterbacks play well, but these 4 gentlemen right here, 3 of them already committed to Michigan State. So you have 3 Power 4 conference guys, and Antonio Johnson, I think Sparty is still working him hard. I'm sure Michigan's on him too. But these gentlemen right here, you look at them, Shep, they get at you in different ways, different sides of the ball. But all of that time will be on the offensive side of the ball. And they're the reason that this Eaglet team is very difficult to stop in many different situations. They attack you in many ways.
Orchard Lake St. Mary's feel like their regular season schedule got them to this point and helped prepare them for it. Byron Center understands they're the underdog. They welcome it. They embrace it. They tell everybody who wants to listen, guess what? We're here to win it too. Don't think that we're caving. Don't think we're giving in. We're ready for kickoff, and so are they.
It's all about what we do today, not what they do. Don't be different. Do not be different. Do what we've been doing all year. Play physical, fast, fly around. All right? Hey, this is our game. Let's go.
Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Byron Center for Division II bragging rights to the 3rd member of our broadcast team tonight, Natalie Kerwin.
Jermaine Gonzalez, he knows a thing or two about getting St. Mary's to a state championship. He did it 25 years ago in 1999 as the quarterback for George Porritt, who was here for 3+ decades. Now it's Jermaine's first time going to a final without George at the forefront. But don't worry, Jermaine told me, oh yeah, GP, he's going to be here today, and trust me, he is still around. He's been coming to our practices, making it noisy with music, because he just knows from so much experience it's going to be loud in here. The thing about him, though, he gives me key advice, and having a close relationship with him all these years, it's been invaluable. It really is a blessing, and I really hope to make him proud tonight.
He was an All-American in 2000 at Orchard Lake St. Mary's and has more wins this year than the last 2 years combined at the helm for the Eaglets. Byron Center won the coin flip. Mark Cisco and company deferred giving Orchard Lake St. Mary's the football. Cisco in his 16th year. It has been a really fun ride for him. He said, you know what? It hasn't been bad. I've got a great staff. We've had a great time. I'm not sure the wives are huge fans of this extended season, but overall, we've had an absolute blast. Now, he said they have to finish the job. We are underway. Orchard Lake St. Mary's will return it from the 20-yard line. A flag on the play. Byron Center is all over it. Ball hawking as they usually do. And we'll see what the call is.
You know, Shep, we've called so many games over the years, but I'm really excited about seeing a new face at the dance
During
here.
your return, personal foul, legal blindside block, receiving team number 20. Penalties half the distance to the goal. First down.
Coach Cisco's decision to kick off, defer to the second half, rather, is going to pay off because the Eagles are going to start out deep in their own end.
They are led by Axel Newell. He's the senior quarterback, a strong leader. Great charisma, strong personality. Players kind of gravitate toward him, but he won't play the entire game. He and Jabin Gonzalez will share snaps throughout. Ten wins for Orchard Lake St. Mary's this year, the most wins since 2019. On a quarterback draw up the middle, and a really nice run to the 20-yard line. Actually direct snap to Darren Jones Jr. The senior tailback takes it for pretty good yards. There's the offensive line, 6'3", 268 pounds. Antonio Johnson, according to Jermaine Gonzalez, is the best lineman in the state. Bryson Williams leads this team in receptions. Right side, that's Bryson Williams on cue for a nice gain past the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Byron Center's defense allows just 18 points per game. Up front, Stubblefield, Brown, Van Dam, and Orange. Kellen Payne leads this team in tackles with 100, and Eli Farrow, number 20, is considered their best tackler. Another give and another big run. Orchard Lake St. Mary's using their physicality. Second big gainer for Darren Jones Jr. and another first down.
Oh, they're just going to pull the right side. Just Antonio Johnson, big number 54, come through. Helmet on a helmet there. Creates a little bit of a seam. And Jones runs hard. He runs hard. He runs fast. You got Barber there well with him, so you got a really nice backfield.
On the jet motion, right side, squeezing through a hole, close to another first down. That's Chad Willis. Enough to move the chains, a pickup of 10. Boy, Orchard Lake St. Mary's a high-octane, up-tempo offense. They get it and go. Newell out of the pistol. And a give, and that time wrapped up for a loss on the play. It's Richard Goyke III.
Well, this is something Orchard Lake's got to be careful. We're going to pause this right on the start here. Right here, you can't tell from this view, but 54, Antonio Johnson, he's giving away that he's pulling. Let it go. He's back in his stance a little bit, Shep, every time, and he keeps pulling. So if you're Antonio Johnson, you got to be careful. You got to realize that because it can be a key for this defense to know where you're heading.
It's kind of a weird way to pull, kind of backpedaling first. Bryson Williams back past the original line of scrimmage, and then +1 there brings up third down and long.
Now, this isn't your daddy's Orchard Lake St. Mary's now. This team can throw the football if they need to down the field. Between Axel Newell and you have Jermaine Gonzalez both. Now, we had Newell in the game here. 101 out of 167 for 1,271 yards. So in the past, some of these Orchard Lake teams are so run-oriented that they didn't throw the ball well. Well, this is a different club.
Empty set for them, and a 4-wide receiver set on a third down and 9. And a stoppage of play. And Jermaine Gonzalez burns the first of 3 in the half. What a game it was for Orchard Lake St. Mary's last weekend against Groves in the semifinals. Needed overtime to get it done. Orchard Lake St. Mary's found a way using Bryson Williams, one of the most talented players in the entire state of Michigan. Groves came back. They scored. They went for 2. They were stopped, and Orchard Lake St. Mary's wins it with the extra point. 28-27.
I had a chance to watch Groves play De La Salle, and they won that game a little bit going away. And I thought that was a really good football team. So we know if Orchard Lake St. Mary's took them down, where's the team in white and red here tonight, they can play. And it's Byron Center's going to have their hands full. Now, they did a good job in this. After they gave up over 20 yards in field position, they're battening down the hatches, though.
third down and long for Axel Newell.
That's a tight end now.
Plenty of time across the middle and dropped. Intended for Jaden Savory.
Well, Savory, you're going to see right here. Pause it. He's going to be here. He's going to delay block and then release. Let it go. He's going to sit back a little bit, let the defense drop, see the backer come, then he releases. And you know what? His vision, a good job by flashing one of the defenders or the linebackers. I don't know if that was Isaac Lee or who came through there, but Luke, I think it was Luke Laska. Flashed, and I think they lost sight of the ball for a second, incomplete. And Byron Center gets a hold.
Nathaniel Barron will punt it away for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Isaac Lee is back deep. He has returned a couple of punts for touchdowns and averages 33 yards per return. A spiraling kick, a fair catch, hit by somebody, and then picked up by Byron Center to the 22-yard line. Kellen Payne picked up the loose football. Thought it was a dead football, depending on who touched it first.
Well, you cannot advance a muff either way. This is not called a fumble, it's called a muff. So when the return man, the ball bounces off without him catching it, is not considered a fumble. It's considered a muff. You cannot advance the ball, even though Byron Center picked it up. It's going to go back to the spot where it was muffed.
It hit a player in the helmet and then scooped up by Payne. A flag on the play. And we'll get the explanation coming here.
Kick catch interference, kicking team. The penalty is 15 yards from the awarded fair catch spot. First down.
Yeah, thought it hit an Orchard Lake St. Mary's helmet. Did not give him enough room to make the fair catch. Byron Center gets the ball at the 35-yard line. First possession of the night. Here's their quarterback, Landon Tungate. Really grown in his leadership. Is really tough as nails, according to his coaching staff, and is not afraid to ask questions, always asking the right questions. A 3-year all-conference selection, and he will keep it himself. Try a cutback lane. Use some strength to get to the 39-yard line. His offensive line averages 5'10", 258. Jackson Bovia, a 3-year starter at left tackle. Isaac Lee, his favorite receiver, and Cam Payne and his brother Kellen Payne share the running back duties in the backfield. 12-1 out of the OK Green Conference, where they finished second place on a 2nd down and 6. They'll run it here. Nice move. Payne into the open field. Past the 40. He's past the 30 and dragged down near the 25-yard line. Cam Payne with a big run. And Christopher Coates made a touchdown-saving tackle.
Well, they're running counter. We saw it early in the game. They're pulling left guard, left tackle through the hole. And Cameron Payne times it up perfectly. We're going to look from behind here. You see him coming through. One kick out, and he's able to get up through it.
Tries something similar there, but minimal gain. So we saw some big runs for Orchard Lake St. Mary's on their first drive. A big run from Cam Payne on this first drive from Byron Center.
2nd down and 8.
2nd and long for Landon Tungate. The senior quarterback will throw. Has his man, and he dropped it. It was right there in Tate Bainbridge's belly, but he couldn't hold on to it.
Well, Tate's going to come from the right side. He's in a tight slot, and he's just running a little depth pattern, drag across the field. And as he clears the linebacker, the ball's delivered right where it should be by Tungate. And Tate's going to wish he had that one back, because that's a well-designed play. He was getting depth. He found the open area. He just didn't execute it to the end.
3rd down and 8 for Byron Center on their first possession of the night. Tungate, pressure comes, unloads to Cam Payne. A breakdown and wrestled down at the 20-yard line. Kyrie Williams and Christopher Coates combined on the tackle.
You know what, Shep? It's set up a 4th down and 5, but I really believe you're going to go for it in this situation. There's some substitute going on because you're down there deep. You have a quarterback that's mobile, as he just showed in that last play, scrambling, trying to do a little bit of throwback screen. He can buy time. Orchard Lake is really good up front, and they're going to bring pressure, but Tungate can avoid it and get someone in man coverage down the field.
Pressure comes. He weaves his way. He's got a lane for a first down, and inside the 10-yard line for Byron Center.
People need to understand when a quarterback scrambles, once again, it's all about when do you leave the pocket. You need to leave at the perfect time when the pressure just starting to come. You're going to see, let it go. As the pressure comes high up the field, he sees a lane, he steps up into it, and now he becomes a runner, which he does very well. And here's another look. He wanted to throw the ball, and that's what makes really good dual threat quarterbacks. They want to throw it, they will run if they have to, and then when they do, they're pretty good at it.
Campaign to his right. Gets the call, tries to cut back, picks up one tough yard to the 9-yard line. Orchard Lake St. Mary's up front, pretty good at 6'2", 2.25. Ryan Harrington leads the team in sacks with 10. Charles White leads the team in tackles with 110. And their defensive backfield includes Kareem Pruitt, who leads this club in interceptions with 6.
I think Byron Center and Coach Cisco is going to look at maybe moving the pocket a little bit. When Tungate sets up in the pocket, they're really good up front. They bring pressure, so maybe you try to get him outside with a little run-pass option.
Split backfield with Tungate on a 2nd down and goal for Byron Center. Converting on a 4th down moments ago. This is their first possession of the night. Payne, a cutback, touchdown! Kellen Payne hustles in for Byron Center to give him the early lead.
Wonderful call. Totally crossed me up. I'm thinking pass, and this is just a little lead outside. Underhand to Cameron Payne, or rather to Kellen Payne. Lead blocked by his brother Cameron Payne. They get to the edge. You see man coverage outside. You got a heavy box inside. They're able to flank it, get to the edge, and make it an easy touchdown once he got there for Kellen Payne.
Dawson Hilliard on for the extra point. 52 for 60 on the year in this category, and he converts. The Bulldogs showing some early fight. They get it done defensively and then offensively. 8 plays, 65 yards. Paid off by Kellen Payne, the senior's 5th rushing touchdown of the year. For Division II bragging rights, one from Metro Detroit, the other on the west side of the state. Orchard Lake St. Mary's gets here in about 35, 40 minutes. If you're Rob Rubik driving the bus, it's 15. And for Byron Center, it's near Grand Rapids. What's your Rubik's Cube here for this one?
It starts with the quarterback. He really makes everything go for this offense. That's Landon Tungate. So you got to open him up a little bit. Let him go. Let him be who he is in the run game and the pass game. And then defensively, it's got to be, just slow going, baby steps. Just make them chunk their way down the field little by little by little. And I think that's Mark Cisco's philosophy, is that if you can do that, something bad could happen in offense. You could get it drop pass. You can get a penalty. You can turn the ball over. You can get a stop on downs, whatever it is. But no big chunk plays for the Eaglets defensively.
A short kick, fielded at the 26-yard line, and good field position for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, who fumbled it on the return, but was he down?
Well, we're going to look here.
He was down. Yep, that was the ruling on the field.
We're going to look here. Boy, it's close, down, but yeah. The official is about 4 feet away, so I'm going to cede to him and let him make the call.
Jermaine Gonzalez's offense takes over. 2nd possession of the night. Axel Newell, the quarterback, stays in there. 10 and white. Keeps it. Now he'll tuck it and run. Not known for his running. And he leans forward to the 41-yard line. If you're wondering, coaches can challenge, each entitled to 1 challenge during regulation. Team must have a timeout to initiate it. If challenges are successful, they retain the timeout, but the challenges must occur prior to the next play. And of course, all scoring plays and turnovers are automatically reviewed. Newell wants to throw, stands tall, big arm, downfield, right side, and incomplete. Byron Center wanted an offensive pass interference on Chad Willis. No flag, no completion. It'll be 3rd and long.
Well, this play has 3 components. 1, it's a very well-thrown football. 2, it's very well played defensively. Going up, trying to make a play on the ball, not coming down with it, but that was Isaac Lee. And then I think he just gets a fingertip on it. And it goes off the head of Chad Willis, who maybe got away with just a little something, a little body push.
Pressure comes. Helmet lost. Newell running. 1st down and more into Byron Center territory.
A lot of decisions have to be made when you're playing quarterback. You're getting a read down the field. Let it go. We're going to watch Axel here. He drops back. He feels the pressure. He goes right underneath it. Then he makes a nice move. Not known for his running prowess. That's pretty good. That's a really good feel. And once again, when do you leave the pocket? Some quarterbacks stay that half a second too long. They don't get out of it when they try to. And some of them just leave way too early, letting the defense see it.
So a big play. The starting center, Gregory Smith, lost his helmet, so Nathaniel Barron has to come in, at least for this play. And it's a fumble, and it's scooped up by Bryson Williams, and he's able to make something positive out of it. That is a tricky situation because you got a backup center coming in, trying to deliver the snap, and now the starter does trot back out there with a more secure helmet.
Well, it's nice to have someone like Bryson Williams, though. You fumble the snap, so now instead of losing a yard or 2 in the backfield, your tailback picks it up. He gets a 4-yard gain on 1st down.
Not exactly how you drew it up, but you'll take it, right?
It wasn't quite the fumble-rooski, but it was effective.
A cutback. Nice play by Jones Jr., and he gets forward lunge inside the 35 to the 34, and another Orchard Lake St. Mary's 1st down.
Well, we haven't seen this in a while. Right here, this is the full house tee. It's going to be this way, 2 leading, and 1 gets through, let it go. Lead, kick out, block down, and then Jones does a nice job of just weaving his way through, picking up a good gain, and the Eaglets are on the move.
Good looking back, well over 1,100 yards during the regular season and through the regionals on a 1st and 10. A hand inside give to Bryson Williams. He's wrapped up after a pickup of 2 or 3. Byron Center feels like their defense is pretty good. They've been pretty good all season long. Their physicality is a little underrated, but they've really picked up the practice and picked up the pace as of late. But they've got a lot of confidence in their defense. In fact, East Lansing had averaged 38 points per game, and Byron Center held them to just 14 in the semis. Second and 7. Axel Newell off play action. Pressure comes. Dances with it, and he's got some room, and he'll slide down shy of the 25.
Well, I was sold a false bill of goods coming in. After talking to coach and kind of talking to other people who know high school football, no one told me that Axel Newell had this type of presence in the pocket and the ability to scramble if need be. Now, does he look as fast and as quick as some quarterbacks we see that are considered dual threats? No. But he is very functional when he's forced out of the pocket.
Big body, 6'4", 200 pounds. Has the nice arm that you've already seen on display. A turn and a give. This is Willis feeling his way forward, still moving forward. Plenty for the 1st down and close to the 15-yard line. They actually gave that. That's Darren Jones Jr. on the carry.
Same play we saw earlier. You're going to lead through. You get numbers. You're going to go down, let it go. And you're just going to bring them through. Good job. Nice job by the tight end that time. That's Jaden Savory with a good block on the edge, sealing the down block.
Same offensive setup. And the give. This time to Williams. Squeezed through a hole and got down to the 7-yard line.
It's so funny. I did many of these games with Coach Port back in the day, and this looks like the old Orchard Lake St. Mary's. This is power football, a full house tee. First back kicks out, the other one leads through, and then a nice job on the back end running the football by Bryson Williams.
Big reason they average 40 points per game this year is because of their running attack. Right side, now up the middle over the right guard, pushing forward. Touchdown, Darren Jones Jr. There's the answer.
Well, a wise man in my ear once told me, if it ain't broke, you don't have to fix it. And they're not. They found that full house tee down in that drive in the last 5 plays, all the same. Kick out by the lead back, first color picked up by the second back, and then Jones does a good job of just following it into the end zone. Answer the bell.
Big time answer.
Yep.
By Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Timeout for review.
Every touchdown, every turnover, automatically reviewed.
You know, it looks like his knees do hit outside, but it's hard to tell where his upper body and the ball were at that time. You know, we're just not privy to having 18 cameras like the NFL does on Sunday, where you can look at them, pretty soon you can find a view or put a couple together and kind of figure out what happened. Driving. See the pink shoes in there. Yeah, I think when his knee goes down, he's on the line or over. This touchdown will stand, in my humble opinion. But what a nice job, Orchard Lake. You know, they get punched in the mouth a little bit. Byron Center takes the ball down and gets the first touchdown of the game, but don't even blink. They line up, they start going down the field, have some success, some tough plays, and then they found some real success with that full house tee, and they stuck to it. That's, you know, some coaches, I appreciate an offense coordinator. If it's working and they're not stopping it, you don't have to try something. Keep doing it. Run it right. If you want to get freaky, call it to the left. And that's what they did, and they had success.
You see the left knee of Darren Jones Jr. He's number 5 in white. Right there, it's down, but as the ball
so hard
crossed,
to tell where
it
the
sure
ball
looks
is.
like it's already crossed.
I just think we're spending a little bit too much time. It's just go with the call on the field. I mean, I can't believe there's enough that you can say, oh, definitively he did not get to the end zone.
Right.
And that's what you need to see.
The replays you see at home are being
After
shown here
further
at Ford
review,
Field.
the ruling on the field stands.
Sure.
Touchdown.
Makes sense.
Great call.
You notice, too, most of that drive, they're following the middle. Gregory Smith, Antonio Johnson, the right guard, big number 54 in white. He is an absolute load and one of the best linemen the state has to offer. So now the extra point. Beckett Kiefer is on to kick it. And the kick is up and the kick is good. So Byron Center gets on the board first. Kellen Payne from 9 yards away. Only to get answered by Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Darren Jones Jr. from 7 yards away. It's an early slugfest for Division II bragging rights at Ford Field.
We're all tied up here 7-7 for the Division II state final here at Ford Field. Byron Center was able to strike first, and maybe their team manager was able to help with the play calling on that one. I want to introduce you to Max Mathers. He actually started as a sophomore for Byron Center just 2 years ago at strong safety. He ended up tearing his ACL in basketball that year, worked really hard to come back last year. He ended up re-tearing it again coming into his senior year this year. So he decided, okay, I've had no luck on that leg. I'm going to become the team manager. So now he's the biggest cheerleader for this group, practice film hero, and he's coach's sidekick, his best friend. Coach Sisko told me jokingly he's almost annoying at times because he's getting in the guys' faces, trying to get in on my play calls, but that's why we love a kid like that, and that's why he's next to me on the sidelines. He's my right-hand man.
That's a great story. It really is. I mean, the kid, even though he can't play, wants to be part of his classmates' success, and he's been a big reason and underlying success. Good for him. So we're even at 7. Orchard Lake St. Mary's ready to kick it away. Billy Hartenberg will pooch kick it. Fielded by one of the up men to the 35-yard line. And decent field position for Byron Center on their second possession. How about for Orchard Lake St. Mary's? What is key for their success?
Well, I learned this word from my sons, default. They need to be who they are. Go back to what got you here. You don't have to change for this game. This is nothing different. Just be physical up front, run the football, throw the play action game, and that's what we've seen them do. And defensively, it's a wrap, Shep. Come on, you got to tackle. We saw a little bit of poor tackling on that first touchdown drive by Byron Center, so they got to get a little bit better wrapping up.
Byron Center will keep it on the ground.
Number 2, Luke Laska, ball carrier.
Luke Laska with his first carry of the night. 4-year letterman in hockey, football, and baseball. It's a state championship in hockey. Gotta be a tough hombre there, playing those 3 sports.
Well, you said baseball, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tough you have to be playing baseball.
Oh, come on.
Seriously, if it rains, you stay inside. There we go.
Not always. Not always. They'll try and keep it on the ground. A good spinning move made by Campaign.
Hey, that's a good 3-yard gain.
It really is.
When it could have been a 1-yard loss. Campaign, as you called on the call, Shep, said good spin move. 2 spin moves enables him to pick up 3. Gives him a much more manageable 3rd and 5. Now, this, if you're Orchard Lake, you got to be leery that this quarterback, Tungate, once he drops back, this doesn't necessarily mean it's a pass. He's going to look to tuck and go if there's any, feels any type of pressure or sees any running lane, he will take off.
He will look to do that after we take off for a break. When we come back, we start the second quarter. The first one is about toughness up front. Orchard Lake St. Mary's and Byron Center. This one looks like it'll be won or lost in the trenches. Each with a rushing touchdown. Each with 7 points on the board. And Byron Center has the football on a 3rd down conversion attempt when we come back. This special presentation of the MHSAA Football Finals is brought to you by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Family is not just the name of our company, but the way we do business. By your local Toyota dealers for all your Toyota offers. Visit Toyota.com. And by the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer. Here at Ford Field, Division II State Championship game 4 on our slate. We got 4 more for you tomorrow. Byron Center has the football on a 3rd down. Their head coach, Mark Sisko, says, you know we're playing well when we're patient. Balance on our offense fits us when we don't force things. What do they force here on 3rd down and 5, do you think?
Well, let's look at the formation. And I think you're so flexible when you have a quarterback that can't tuck and run. I think they're going to throw the ball, or at least show like they're going to throw it, and maybe some type of quarterback run off it.
Landon Tungate. Oh, a little trickery. And a nice play, but just shy of the 1st down. That toss was to Luke Laska.
That gets you a little bit of a fluffer nutter here. You're not sure what to do in this situation. It's 4th and 1 on your own 44-yard line. It's like, I want to go. They're really good up front. They're big. But, you know, this is who we are. And this is where your history during the course of the season will really determine what the offensive coordinator or the head coach wants to do in this situation. And what they want to do is talk about it.
I tell you what, that's a really good tackle, because that hole was there.
Yes.
It's a really good one-on-one tackle by the cornerback, Christopher Coates. He wears 22 in white, 83 tackles on the year coming in. Best cover corner, but some of the best cover corners
don't tackle.
Right, don't tackle very well. If you want to be one of the best corners, period, you got to know how to tackle, and he did it right there.
And I'm getting tired. I've been made so many Lions references, but I think the whole state is on board with this Detroit Lions, and that's why I like Carlton Davis. I mean, he's a good cover guy. He's good handsy at times, but he's physical, but he will tackle as well. They come up, and there's a very sure tackler, and Terrion Arnold as well. And as you said, Coates, Christopher Coates, nice job. That is a tough tackle. And really, and you're left there kind of on an island as it cuts back to you, and if you don't make the play, it might be another 20, 25 yards on the field before you lasso him.
May not see a lot of that in a box score, but that was huge right there. Otherwise, it's a first down, and Byron Center keeps that timeout. They move the chains. Let's see what Byron Center does here on a 4th down and 1.
Options you have. One is you go hard count, not even snap it, try to draw them off. 2 is you could just try to run one of your big backs. Maybe you try to get Kellen Payne up the middle somehow. Maybe ISO have his brother lead through. 3 is you take your quarterback, you maybe play action, roll him to the edge, give him a little run pass option. So I don't know. I haven't watched this team. I'd be lying if I say I watch all kinds of film on them. I really haven't seen him. I have seen him play a little bit, so it's a hard predict.
Looks like they're going for it. Tungate out of the shotgun formation. There's the hard count.
A-gap pressure. They're coming. Excellent.
Give it to Payne. He got the edge and more. He's gone. Cameron Payne, touchdown.
Well, Shep, I was talking to you there, and I said, look at the A-gap pressure. It's coming. And then we get a look here. I'm going to show you what you're going to see. Look at the linebackers. Everyone's squeezed inside. Linebackers sneaking up. They're coming. They're coming. So what do? You edge them. You give it Campaign to the edge, and all you do is get one block, and you get it, and then Campaign does the rest. He's on his own campaign, I would say, isn't he? Woo! Beautiful. Beautiful play.
His brother got the first touchdown of the night for Byron Center. He collects the second. This one from 56 yards away. The extra point is blocked.
That's Savory getting in there.
And don't lose sight of that.
31.
Those are always important.
Savory coming in, and we're going to get another look at that touchdown. I'm going to tell you, I don't think they checked to it, but I think they may have seen it before the timeout. Okay, now look at here. You're going to see pressure. You're going to see pressure coming here, here, here. All these guys are coming. So what happens is you got these 2 to account for, and let's let it go and be ready to stop it. The underneath hand up. Stop it right now. Now look at somebody else was in man coverage, so he follows the receiver, and now you got a one-on-one block on the edge. Release, little arc release by the tight, and Kellen Payne helps his brother Cameron Payne with a great block.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because Kellen Payne on that seal block where he blocked Christopher Coates, who just made that tackle moments ago, springs his brother 56 yards to pay dirt, and Byron Center reclaims the lead.
Man, that is just, I don't know, before the timeout, maybe we could take a look back sometime, if someone in the truck could take a peek. See if they were showing that type of A-gap pressure where they're bringing backers. They're going to they're guessing that you're running the ball between the tackles, because if so, then maybe they end the timeout. That's when Coach Cisco said, okay, let's edge them.
Rubes, that can be risky, man, because that's a tackle for loss waiting to happen if you don't get the guys buying into block.
If you don't seal every gap up and down the line, because they're bringing numbers. They're bringing 7 guys, 8 guys, and you only have 5 to 6 blocking. So you got to pinch those gaps tight and not allow any penetration and to get to the edge. And, man, that was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, that was well executed, that's for sure, by Campaign and the guys up front. There's a squib kick, and it's bobbled around. Who's got it?
You call that a squib? That might have been an onside. I'm not sure if he whiffed on it or.
Ryan Fresquez hopped all over it.
We're going to look here. Yeah, I think it's an onside, Shep. It looked like the 2 guys to the kicker's left, they were speeding to that area as fast looking down. But it was the hardest onside kick I've ever seen with a leg. He took a full swing at it.
He did.
Looked like some of your 3-irons I've seen you hit over the years. You kind of took the outside half of it.
Yeah, need another ball in the pocket, right? Cutback, nice run. Oh, a nice juke all the way inside the 40. And Bryson Williams continues to impress. On the ground, Kellen Payne with the tackle.
So many different weapons Orchard Lake possesses, and this is just a nice job. It's designed is almost like an outside zone play where he can read it. And this looks like he was going to try to get to the edge. He'd be in Bryson Williams in white there, but he cuts it back inside and then just kind of weaves his way through the defense.
Darren Jones Jr. is to the left of Axel Newell. 2 wide receivers to the right. Now he brings a man in motion. It's Willis. He'll cut it back. Flag on the play. Shy of the 35. And it looks like this is going to go against Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Well, this would be a decision if it goes against St. Mary's. If it's a 5-yarder, You've put him 1st and 15 or 2nd and 9. That's a really good defensive stop and an illegal shift, it looks like. He's looking at the sidelines trying to say, hey, coach, you want it? Hold up your 5. Show him that's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Sometimes, you see the official goes, it's a 5 to help the head coach.
Illegal shift. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Okay, what happened was the 2 players on the bottom of the screen, that would have been Bryson Williams. He was kind of stepping up as they send, I don't know if it was Chad Willis, somebody, the other guy, the slot went in motion at the same time. You cannot have 2 guys moving, and if you do, you have to have them both set before the ball is snapped.
Two receivers to the right for Axel Newell.
They do. We saw early on in this situation.
Jones Jr. right side, dragged down at the 40.
They really like to pound you now. I just wonder how much before they come back to that full house tee. They had that success in that drive. I mean, the last 5 plays of that drive, they went in that full house tee, and they were getting 4 to 8 yards a pop. So you wonder how long before Coach Gonzalez maybe comes back to that. Now, this situation is a little more difficult. You're in a 2nd down and long at 2nd and 13. So we're looking at a pass. Let's see, route combination, looking at the receivers. Who's there? 14 catches for Barber during the year, 19 for Willis, 40 for Bryson Williams. He's been the go-to guy in the passing game. He's split to the bottom here.
Newell swings it out. Nice catch. Nice move. Still on his feet. Jones Jr. inside the 35, down to the 33.
And Laska was there. Isaac Lee was there. Number 2, number 3 in black. They were both there trying to make a play in space, but you just look, when you're trying to take Darren Jones, that is a tough ask when you have to do it in space.
And the reason that's so big is you're probably looking at 4-down territory now if you're Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Exactly, Shep, because it was going to be 3rd and 9.
Right.
Now there's that full house tee we were talking about.
Yep.
It's been going power one way or the other.
They try the left side of the line this time. Bryson Williams forced backwards after a gain of 2.
I think we're going to see him go for it. It's a long field goal. It's be a 47-yard field goal. So 4th down and 3. Now the question is, I'm waiting for run that full house tee and fake that ISO with the 2 guys leading through, and then run right down the hash and send the other back into the flat. Let's see if they have a power pass off of that full house tee.
4th and a long 3. Newell with a give. Jones Jr. bottled up. He's going backwards. And Byron Center holds.
All right, you're going to see. They're going to try to run it here like they've been doing with 2 lead backs, but you're going to see great initial takeoff up front with the linebackers. They get penetration into the backfield. There's Kellen Williams getting in there, or Kellen Payne, rather, doing a great job of penetration, number 32, the linebacker, and he also gets a little help from his friend, Luke Laska, number 2.
Big stuff for Byron Center. Gives it back to the offense. That is 2 for 2 so far. Langdon Tungate, the quarterback, off play action, middle of the field, and it's caught on a rolling grab out of the backfield by Cam Payne, shy of the 40. A pickup about 9.
Like it. 1st down play action, Shep. We broadcast enough together over the years. Huge fan of the guy that calls the plays in this field. Big 1st down play action guy. It's so tough to defend defensively because you are thinking run. Even if you're trying to be open-minded as a linebacker, you're stepping up, opens up a lot of space behind.
Payne with a cutback and Cam Payne with a 1st down run. That play action doesn't work if you don't run the football to start.
Yeah, right. Initially,
Byron Center's done a good job of that
run
so
the
far.
ball well. You know what I like about the run game is you watch Payne on that one. Very patient. Like you said about we're patient on our offense. They're also patient when they run the ball as runners. They kind of feel their way, and they see it, they attack downhill.
We haven't seen Tungate run it much. And this is a guy who rushed for over 1,400 yards at the quarterback spot. This time it's Kellen Payne. Here's Tungate's numbers coming into play today. You see the combo. That's impressive stuff right there. Over 3,000 total yards.
You know, there is a reason we do our homework that we highlight certain players in the open, and we highlighted number 4, Tungate, because he is such a complete quarterback. He's the definition of a dual threat. And let's see right now, they're going to need one of those two things to happen. Maybe him with his legs or him with his arm.
He ran for 6 touchdowns against East Lansing last weekend. Tough sledding up the middle for Luke Laska.
Well, we're going to see now, Shep, a little bit about Tungate's arm. We've seen him complete a few passes. We saw one drop, which was a nice throw, because I think at 3rd down and long 9 here, your Byron Center, that misdirection run play and that slow run play and the edge stuff isn't going to work, because those linebackers are going to be off. Unless they're coming, they're going to be off a little bit, ready to get to their drops, and they're going to be able to really flow side to side. So you got to find someone against this zone. Let's see what they're playing coverage-wise. Someone sit down, make sure you get to the sticks.
Flag on the play. Byron Center might have jumped.
Full start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And this is tough, because a 3rd down and 9, you got an opportunity if Tungate has to tuck it and scramble that he can maybe get close or pick up the 1st down. 3rd and 14, that's a different animal, and it changes your whole passing attempts or passing game as well, because it takes your short intermediate routes out of the equation. You have to get more vertical and down the field, and I'm not sure if you're going to try to run a deep cross against this defensive front if you're going to have time to throw that ball.
Tungate 3 for 4 so far here tonight. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. They'll keep it on the ground, barreling forward to about the 47-yard line or so.
Like
Here's Kellen Payne.
Like the call, Shep. Some people might say it's a little conservative. I think it's smart. You're playing pretty good defense. You stopped them last time. You're gonna let that play clock run down here. 5 minutes. We're under 5 minutes and counting. You tell your defense, all right, we flipped the field a little bit. We picked up a couple 1st downs. We moved it here. Now, we're going to punt them deep. You hold them down there, and we'll get the ball back. In Orchard Lake, with no one deep to receive the punt, I don't know if they're not buying it.
Well, Luke Laska is the punter for Byron Center, but remember, he's also a running back, too.
Yeah, they're playing punt safe. They're looking for a fake. You can see the linebackers up.
And it is a fake. Tungate throws, intercepted. That's Christopher Coates. Oh, it's incomplete. He couldn't hold on to it, but still, on the fake punt, they turn it over. And Orchard Lake St. Mary's has really good field position. Didn't fool many Eaglets on their special teams unit. Kudos to them.
You know, Shep, I'm a big believer in fake punts. I truly believe they have their place. But near midfield, they lose a lot of their potency. And here's another reason that if you have it on, you call it off. You got coverage. You got coverage. You got linebackers that are all waiting for you to fake the punt. They're playing defense. It's called a punt safe. Let it go. So now the quarterback fakes like he gets it. It's a short catch. There's no one. You have no choice. So if you're going to do this, see the short snap and then the throw. If you're going to try that, why not just line up in your offense and have Tungate, who throws the ball for the entire season, take the fake punt? You did not. Orchard Lake was in a total punt safe, and kudos to the defensive coach and also the special teams coach for Orchard Lake. They were ready for that.
Now St. Mary's just 47 yards away from tying things up. Axel Newell with a give to Darren Jones Jr. Nice gain on 1st down. Not every play is going to get you a home run, to borrow a baseball phrase, but something like that on 1st down to make it 2nd down and 5 really helps offensive coordinators in their playbook. Newell hasn't thrown it much on an end around. This is Bryson Williams. Should be enough for the 1st down.
This is just a different look, running the outside zone where you bring the wing from the right and you hand it. This is just outside zone. All the line is stepping left. Everyone's blocking, anything in front of him, and he's looking for a crease. He being Bryson Williams. And number 4 in white.
Jermaine Gonzalez told us we've got to get the ball into number 4's hands as much as we can. A finalist for Mr. Football. That'll be announced next week. 1st and 10, Axel Newell. Jones, left side, cut it back, lowered the shoulder, and drives his legs forward for a pickup of 9.
We're going to another look at this. And watch Antonio Johnson. He's already sitting back, but he's going to do that side step and then head up through the hole. Let it go. They're following big number 54. They have him listed at 6'4", 307 pounds. And you know what? Looking at him, he's not fat. That's a big man at 307 pounds. Usually, you see some 300-pound kids in high school, but they're thick through the middle. That's just a tall-looking athlete that's got a lot of meat on him.
Richard Goyke III able to pick up the first down on that jitterbug run over the left guard. Orchard Lake St. Mary's calling the play at the line of scrimmage. Goyke III again, right side, past the 20 to the 19-yard line.
What a nice drive that Jermaine Gonzalez, head coach of Orchard Lake, is putting together right now. Not only is he getting ground and moving towards the final destination of the end zone, he's taking that game clock out of play. He's not going to leave any time on it for Byron Center to have an opportunity to come back and score. Going to go left.
And off to Willis. Feels his way forward and gets to about the 12-yard line. That's enough for a first down run. Two receivers to the right for Newell. Darren Jones Jr., the lone setback on a 1st and 10. Under 2 minutes to go here in the opening half. Bounce into the outside and then an ankle tackle made. A nice play made there by Byron Center's Tate Bainbridge.
Antonio Johnson, the right guard, is a really, keep it frozen, is a really good player. But look how he's tipping off. That's a tell right here. Look how far back he is in his stance. That means he's going to slide back and pull to the left. And he's been doing that time after time. And, any lineman that, is worth their salt is going to figure that out over time.
Cut back, twice, touchdown. Bryson Williams with a nifty run to get his team even.
Well, this is that we call it like an outside zone out of that wing formation. We saw him run it early in the drive, and that time Bryson Williams makes him pay. We get another look here. That's just really good speed. Stretch the defense, put it under stress, and then cut back. Kellen Payne overruns it. With an extra point, we could have a lead for the Eaglets.
The extra point is good. And St. Mary's has the lead. An 8-play, 47-yard drive. All of them on the ground. It's big boy football in a big boy division at Ford Field. And now a message from your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
This special presentation of the MHSAA football finals is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Well, it has been a memorable last 6 months for Byron Center. We're going to take you back to the end of last winter, winning the hockey state championship. And how about this? We got one crossover from that team. Luke Laska, you saw him make a great defensive play earlier. He is not just an animal in football. The guy has 12 varsity letters: football, hockey, and baseball. That's right. His parents have never had to sit through a freshman or JV game to watch him do his thing. They've been able to see him at a high-intensity varsity level all 4 years of high school. You guys, what better athlete than that? Luke Laska, how fun. That's a guy you want on your team.
That's the guy because and when you talk to the various coaches at Byron Center, Mark Sisko specifically says it helps his athletes to play those additional sports, to get learning from other coaches. It's a different way, it's a different mindset, but it's all about competition.
It is, and how about the parents sitting through baseball games? What wonderful parents.
How about the 6 a.m. practices for hockey?
No, hey, that's different.
On,
Shep,
man.
you did that. I can remember you following all the way. And Lisa said, you'd say, Lisa's going today, and she was not happy. You on the other hand, loved it. I mean, you would come home and say, Scotty did this, or, Chad did that.
It's 18 years of that stuff. I miss it to this day. Let's see what happens with Byron Center. Just $1.25 left to go in the half. And they're going to have a long way to go. Dragged down at about the 18-yard line.
Now, well, Byron Center, they will receive, correct? Or not?
No, Orchard Lake St. Mary's won the coin flip. Deferred.
Deferred, okay. All right, my bad.
That's all right.
So Orchard Lake's looking at just play a little defense here. Then you're going to get the ball to start the second half and maybe do a double dip.
2 timeouts left for Byron Center, as you see there on the lower part of your screen.
I can't see Mark Cisco, the head coach of Byron Center, turning Tungate loose here for the fact that, man, you're deep in your own end. I know he's a good passing quarterback, but right now I think you just want to try to eat a little bit of clock. Force Orchard Lake maybe burn their 2 timeouts if they want to try to get the ball back.
I thought they might throw it a little bit more than what we've seen so far here tonight. He'll run it. Ooh, get cracked in half at the line of scrimmage. That's tough sledding right there. Chasing Arnold, bent him backwards.
Interesting, not taking a timeout. So if I'm Byron Center, now I go into slow mode. I take my time. I run that play clock all the way down because you just indicated that you're content going in down 14-13 because you come up with a running play in first down, I think.
When you say interesting, no timeout, you mean Orchard Lake?
I thought Orchard Lake would take burn a timeout. They have 2.
Yeah.
And, maybe you put them into a third down and Orchard Lake or Byron Center throws the ball and throws it incomplete. You have an opportunity to get the ball back.
Tungate's going to run it again. He's going nowhere again.
Well, now they're going to use one of their timeouts. Okay, so they have one left, Shep, but I think you'll see him use it here, obviously. And
they'll talk it over, and now a message from Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
As property manager, I use Family Heating and Cooling because they're honest, they're on time, and fair priced.
Contact us today to find out what our family can do for your family.
We've seen 3 champions crowned so far here today. We've seen some records being broken so far today. And we're in a slugfest for Division II. Jermaine Gonzalez and Orchard Lake St. Mary's up by a point, 14-13. They're blocked extra points. So far, the difference in this one.
Well, you promoted this game as being probably one of the best games of the 2-day weekend, and you're right on. Yeah. I didn't know what to expect. I've watched Orchard Lake a little bit. I've watched Byron Center a little bit, and they looked like they're a little bit different teams. I thought Orchard Lake was very physical, and they're showing to be that. Most success they've had is with that full house tee as well. And Byron Center looked to me like they were a little bit deceiving, that they could hit you with a run, hit you with a pass, pretty balanced. And it's pretty much been what I thought it would be in that sense.
Third down and 8 from their own 21. Tungate will keep it again. He'll be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Ryan Fresquez, the junior middle linebacker, on the tackle. And Orchard Lake St. Mary's burns their final timeout with 24 seconds left.
This formation just smoke and mirrors. This is trying to get the defense to think that we're going to throw the ball. No intent on throwing the football at all. You want to keep that clock, force Orchard Lake St. Mary's to burn their last timeout, which they did. Now you're punting the ball. If you can hit a line drive, directional punt it, don't let the return guy get it out past the 50-yard line. You can eat 10, 12 seconds easily, and then you're giving the ball back with maybe 12 seconds and no timeouts at the high school level, and you should be pretty safe defensively.
Here's what we got coming up at the half. 100 years we celebrate the MHSAA. Looking back at the 3 champions crowned earlier today, and Natalie Kerwin will talk with both coaches. First, Jermaine Gonzalez heading into the locker room, and Mark Cisco coming back out to start the second half. Byron Center 0 for 4 on third downs in this one so far. 4 rushing touchdowns. For Byron Center, it's Kellen Payne and Cam Payne. And for St. Mary's, it's Darren Jones Jr. and Bryson Williams.
Now you got trouble here, too. You got Chad Willis, who is shifty. And so you got to make sure you get coverage here and spread out and don't give him any space. But I'm directional punting. I'm telling my punter, I want a line drive. I don't know if you go right or you go left, but I don't want anything hung in the air where he can come up and get it on the run.
Line drive kick.
Perfect. Don't touch it.
No,
let the ref stop it.
Let it go as
you
long
do not
as
have
you
to
can.
touch it. Yeah, so you got to coach them up. You tell your kids, if we're circling the ball, you do not touch it. The ref will stop the clock eventually. You can maybe eat off another second or two. 13 seconds left. Let's see if Coach Gonzalez thinks about taking a shot down the field. I think with no timeouts, just going like the victory formation here, take a knee and head in. I mean, he was hoping with calling those timeouts, he'd get a chance at a punt return there. And it didn't work out. Oh, we got a cramper.
Yeah, we got two guys tied together. Somebody pull a prank. Or somebody pulled a prank on their.
This is new. I've watched football for
yeah, I've never seen anything
years.
like this. There we go. How did this happen? It's 4 and 54, like they have magnets on their shoes.
Someone tied their laces when they're in the huddle, and it wasn't his foot. I've seen everything now. Oh my!
And Byron Center calls a timeout. That gives us a chance to tell you there's always help wanted when it comes to high school athletic game officials. Every year, more than 1,000 new officials are needed across dozens of MHSAA sports. Signing up is easy. To become a registered high school game official, visit MHSAA.com today. And I would ask you this: you're in attendance watching your son or daughter play, please respect those officials as well, because they can be challenging. Division II championship game on the line. Orchard Lake St. Mary's 10-3 on the year coming in. Byron Center 12-1 on the year. Most wins in school history, and their number of points scored. This is a potent offense that averages over 40 points a game. Is the most points scored in a single season with 518. Williams trying to bounce it. Byron Center trying to rip it clean. Instead, he tumbles forward to the 41-yard line. And that's it for the opening half. A ground and pound attack from both teams. All 4 touchdowns scored in this opening half have been on the ground. And both defenses, both offensive lines have played difference maker throughout as well. A blocked extra point has been the difference so far. St. Mary's 14, Byron Center 13 at the half here at Ford Field in the Division II state championship game. Natalie Kerwin is with Orchard Lake St. Mary's head coach Jermaine Gonzalez.
Coach, we saw a funny moment there between Bryson Williams and Antonio Johnson getting all tied up. What was that?
Just shoes got caught together. I never saw that before, but it was a little weird, but they figured it out.
We sure had a good laugh out of it. Extra point blocked has made the difference so far in this game. What's your first half assessment?
Yeah, I mean, we know we told them we got to settle this game down, right? 1 or 2 possessions, we got to start playing regular football now. It's a good football team, Byron Center, so, we know it's going to be a war coming the second half.
Bryson Williams, 2 touchdowns. How do you get more of your prime guys involved?
Got to just, give them opportunities and find ways to get them the ball.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shep?
Jermaine Gonzalez learned from his head coach, George Porritt. Do things the right way. Compete and play hard. Both teams have done that in the opening half, with St. Mary's up by 1 here at Ford Field.
Well,
The 2024 MHSAA football finals are brought to you by Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. And by the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. It's a game changer. Orchard Lake St. Mary's, the game changer in this one, a blocked extra point. They've got a couple of rushing touchdowns. So does Byron Center. One of these teams will win a state championship by night's end. Wallside Windows brings us the highlights of a championship Friday in Detroit. It has been a day filled with pounding the rock, starting in the Division 8 final earlier today. Running back Drew Block rushed for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. Beale City defeats Riverview Gabriel Richard 42-14, the final, the Aggies' third ever state championship. In the second game of the day, running back Chase Burnett rushed for 157 yards and 2 TDs, leading Goodrich to a 35-6 win over Niles in the Division 4 final. It was Goodrich's first state title in school history and the first for longtime head coach Tom Allward. And in the game just before this one, it was Cadell Williams. It was his show, man, and his world. We're just living in it. En route to a 56-18 Lou and Christie win over Lansing Catholic. Williams set an MHSAA state finals record with 314 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, tied as a record on 27 attempts. The Titans head coach Herb Brogan and company have now won 14 state championships. That is a state record.
A little surprising, Shep. 3 lopsided wins today. 3 lopsided wins today, Shep. We're not getting that in this one, though. You can see 14-13 Orchard Lake at half. 2 teams are pretty even. Both of them, you can see their strengths, but you can also see some weaknesses, and we'll see if those are exploited in the second half.
Anything today surprise you at all?
Yeah, I think what surprised me today was that Lumen Christie really just dominated that game against Lansing Catholic. They scored 56, but I really thought Lansing Catholic would put up more points. They had a lot of yards, but a lot of empty yards, no points.
Yeah, Jackson Lumen Christie had the ball 9 times. 8 times they scored. Byron Center scored early on. Kellen Payne from 9 yards out. His brother Cam scored for 56 yards out. Orchard Lake St. Mary's has counterpunched with a couple of rushing touchdowns of their own, and they're up by 1 as we come back for the third quarter at Ford Field after this. Back at Ford Field in Division 2, we're at the break, and St. Mary's leads Byron Center by a point. 100 years of the MHSAA, 50 years of football finals with so many wonderful moments, and we take you back in time now.
We're back here once more, together, turning onto Brush Street, just past the Gem Theater and Courthouse. It's not an introduction, but an annual reunion, an anniversary for some. But always, it's a celebration for the kids walking out of the tunnel. It's a time to remember and mark the layering of those memories. 100 years have passed since the birth of the MHSAA, and 2024 marks the 50th football state finals. 50 since Ishpeming stunned Hudson in Mount Pleasant. 43 since John Harrington won title number 1. 30 since Lapeer walked it off in overtime.
It's over. Lapeer wins.
20 since Rockford went back-to-back. 10 since Donnie Corley pulled in a miracle.
Touchdown, King!
And 5 years since we learned the name Brady Rose.
Touchdown!
It's a chance to see 8 schools bring home the dream of a state title and celebrate all the ones that came before. It all happens on Brush Street, Thanksgiving weekend, and high school football, where we gather to renew, reconnect, and rediscover the magic once again. Welcome home.
Bryce Underwood! Yes! In his hand, Jackson's got it, and he's headed to the end zone.
Travis Smith, touchdown, Ithaca.
3 straight championships.
Oh, extra year, Brady, touchdown.
It is one to remember in Clarkston. The Flying G's of Gladwin have won their first state championship game.
Where else would you rather be,
Oh.
right? That's a tradition that we've lived for a long time, and it's been an absolute blast.
Wow. What a great piece, well written. Obviously, the voice of God next to me here, Matt Shepard. But, you know, what's funny is I started thinking of all the guys I played with in the NFL, and I'm watching that, see more coaches that I know that I played with. I'm seeing Coach Richardson, Coach Zimmerman, you know, Coach Putnam. I see Terry Hesbrook from Ithaca. And, you see Jim Baker from Lansing Catholic and all the different, coaches over
Pete
the years, from
Sturzma,
Tony
right.
Anise to Peter Sturzma, who's at Hope, and just some really good phone calls, Shep. And that's one thing I'll take away from this. This is my 33rd year, is just the conversations we get to have with these coaches.
Yeah, now a conversation with Byron Center head coach Mark Sisko with Natalie Kerwin.
Coach, you told me you're playing well when you're patient and not forcing anything. Did you see some of that in the first half?
Well, yeah, I thought we were pretty patient. We had a little bit of physicality change in the middle during the second quarter, and we need to match their response to us for sure.
What else did you tell your guys in the locker room here at half?
24 minutes on the clock, about 12 minutes of playing time. What do you got left, right? Realistically, it's a tie game. We got to score here, and then just continue on and have a great second half.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shep?
All right, that first half, pretty balanced, pretty even, as one might expect between these two teams. Let's look at the first half stats. Neither team throwing the ball much. They really are commanding on the ground. St. Mary's with 12 first downs. Byron Center 0 for 4 on third downs. That's big.
Well, and that's what I was going to show you, Shep. You want to know when good defense is being played? When you look at this number here, between the two teams, 1 for 7 on third downs, and that's good defensive play. And it's not just on third down; it means you're playing well on first and second down to make it a much tougher conversion on third.
Perhaps the difference, not just the blocked extra point, but going for a fake punt on fourth down in your own territory right around midfield didn't work out for Byron Center.
So true, Shep. The fact that it failed, it gave them a shorter field, and they converted on it. They got a touchdown on that drive. Them being Orchard Lake St. Mary's, if you punt the ball, we can't say they wouldn't have scored on that same drive, but it had 30 more yards probably to go, which made it more difficult, because when they scored, I think it was a minute 24 and a half. So they'd have been having to manage the clock as well as trying to manage their play.
Byron Center stopped Orchard Lake St. Mary's on their first possession. Then Kellen Payne scored from 9 yards out. Then St. Mary's responded with a Darren Jones Jr. 7-yard touchdown run, capping up a 9-play, 62-yard drive. Cam Payne then scored from 56 yards out. This is a fourth down call. He got the edge and a nice block.
And he got a great block from his brother. That really sprung him down the field. And Cam Payne showing he's got a little bit of jets. Brent runs away from the defense. A little kick there.
And then Bryson Williams tied things up with a 12-yard touchdown run. Made a couple of nice cutbacks. He's slippery. That capped off an 8-play, 47-yard drive. The extra point was good. Prior to that, on the Byron Center touchdown, this was the blocked extra point.
You know what? I'm not adding any controversy, but if you look at that, they hurdle the center, and as he goes down, they bring a guy through that space to block the extra point.
And then we were referring to the fake punt that just didn't work out.
Yeah, that's just a tough call too. That's, in your own territory. I mean, it's Dan Campbell's kind of brought back a lot of the trick plays and the fake punts and the going for it on fourth down. And I'm all for it on a lot of situations, but every situation is different. You have to read what is going on. You have to look at how they're going to defend you. And always have a hot automatic check where your punter or the up back can look at your coach and you just go, stop. Put up a stop sign if you want. We're not running it. Punt, regular punt.
Rubes, I misspoke at the end of the first half. It's Byron Center who kicked off. So you were right originally. They're going to get the ball to start this third quarter.
That's what Coach Sisko said in his interview with Natalie. Something about, we need to score. Like we're getting the ball.
See if they can do just that. On the run up to 15. Stutter stepping his way past the 25 to the 26. Special teams units have been pretty darn good. And here's Cam Payne, who had the first rushing touchdown of the night, already over 100 yards. 56 on one play. He had the second rushing touchdown. His brother Kellen had the first rushing touchdown of the night. It's going to take a lot to impress us in this game with a rushing performance, because we saw Cadell Williams of Jackson Lumen Christi run for a record 314 earlier today. First play of the third. They'll throw it, and it's caught at the 30-yard line. See if Langdon Tungate can get some type of rhythm. But they're going to rule that incomplete or already down. Yeah, already down at the 31.
I think they're going to call this a catch and down before the ball comes out.
Yep. Carter Ricketts on the receiving end.
And you're going to see Tungate. This little curl route, a little play action. Zip it in there. It's caught. He's down, and then the ball comes out. Yep, good call by the officials.
2nd down and 5. Empty set for Tungate. Bubble screen. Oh, and he dropped it. Incomplete. Intended for Isaac Lee. Couldn't bring it in.
I think, Shep, that something went wrong here. Usually in this type of screen, you're throwing it to the outside guy. Let's run it, stop it right here. Now, you got 3 guys. If you're going to do this type of screen, you got body on a body, and you think the ball will be thrown here. So let's see what they do. He kind of goes too far. There's two of them are waiting to catch the football. So definitely a miscommunication between the quarterback and the running back and the receiver that time. Something was where they shouldn't be. I can't really guess. I don't know.
Looking for their first 3rd down conversion of the night, and a flag on the play.
We're gonna, right here, you got a little bit of motion. You're going to hit number 3 that time.
It happened earlier.
Offense number 3.
That's Isaac Lee.
5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That happened earlier on a 3rd down and manageable. Then it pushed him back, and you said it changes a lot of your passing possibilities.
You know, when you're playing a defense that is as sound and as physical as this St. Mary's defense is up front, you can ill afford to be taking losses or negative plays via penalties, especially pre-snap penalties. Those are the ones that coaches really struggle with. You know, sometimes you get a holding penalty, you're battling, you're fighting. It's going to happen, but that's just a mental error. Now they're going to spread him out. In the past, they'd spread it out and try to run the quarterback. And Cisco's going to be forced to burn a timeout. Not happy with whatever he saw on the field.
Now a message from your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Now during Black Friday, returning AZ Plan trade-in lessees can lease a 2024 F-150 XLT 4x4 Super Crew for $299 a month for 24 months.
Byron Center looking at a 3rd down and 10. They're 0 for 4 on 3rd downs. This is the first possession for either team in the 2nd half.
You know what I'm looking at here, if I'm Byron Center, I come on some maybe like a 2x2 set with twins each way and run them off, and then maybe do a little old-fashioned running back screen. Let that, because they're really aggressive. Orchard Lake is really rushing up the field hard. Draw them in. You got an athletic quarterback. Let them come in, and then try to get a little screen. And if you go 2x2 and you run them off, you can get some space and maybe be able to pick up that 10 yards.
Maybe open up the middle of the field a little bit.
Open up the middle of the field. You see so many funnel, tunnel, slip screens, bubble screens. You just don't see that tailback screen as much anymore.
Instead, he'll go trips to his left.
They're showing a lot of pressure. Now they're stepping out.
Rolls the pocket. Pressure from behind. Fumble. Scooped up. Inside the 5-yard line. Orchard Lake St. Mary's defense rises to the occasion.
Ooh, Kyrie Williams, big boy rolling right there now. He picks it up and he shows he's an athlete as well. Pressure from the backside. Tungate never sees it, and he never feels it to his blind side. And that is some speed coming. That is a missile coming in from the blind side. That's number 28, Ryan Harrington, the linebacker. And he just blindsides Tungate. And the big man, Kyrie Williams, there to pick it up. I thought he was going to get it to the house. But he gets brought down on the 4-yard line, but really great field position. And what a start for St. Mary's.
Harrington's 11th, his team leading 11th sack of the year.
Goes back to that penalty shot. It puts in a whole different situation.
Axel Newell gives up the middle. Cameron, or make it Bryson Williams, scores his 2nd touchdown run of the night. And St. Mary's is up 7.
Well, you know what they like, and Jermaine Gonzalez has found something, and that's that full house tee. That's been their bread and butter play when they get inside the 10. It's been their bread and butter play when they need some short yardage plays. And Bryson Williams has been the beneficiary of it, having those 2 lead backs, and also doing a good job that offensive line, all stepping and sliding in that zone game.
Extra point is good, and St. Mary's takes advantage of the turnover. First, it was the big edge rusher Ryan Harrington making a play. That sets up an easy first and goal from the 3. And Bryson Williams does the rest. St. Mary's head coach Jermaine Gonzalez wasn't only one of the best quarterbacks in the state of Michigan. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the country while playing at St. Mary's. He was an All-American in 2000 and led his team to a state championship. And then he took his talents to Ann Arbor, where he played a little quarterback, a little wide receiver, as well as part of a couple of Big Ten championship teams in 03 and 04. And now he is along the sidelines as the head coach of his alma mater, and his team is up by 8 in the Division II state championship game.
Well, even as bad as everything has started for Byron Center, you know, getting the penalty, and that penalty affects the play. You were talking about, you set it up great when you said it was 3rd and 5, now it's a 3rd and 10. It changes what you want to do. You have to throw the football. They get blindsided by Harrington. Tyree does a good job picking the ball up. Williams, Kyrie picking it up and running it in, and it's one of those things that you can't have those mental errors, those pre-snap penalties. But it's one possession, 2 scores.
That's how you have to look at it.
Yep.
This drive for Byron Center will start at the 27th.
This year, the MHSAA is celebrating a century of sports, Shep. Be part of the festivities by visiting the MHSAA.com, where you'll see exclusive content about the people, places, rivalries, and records that makes high school athletics in Michigan so memorable. It's a century of the MHSAA, and it's all on MHSAA.com.
Should do that more often.
Ooh, that was stressful, though. I'm not going to lie. I'm good for the night.
I can tell you read. 1st and 10 for Byron Center. On a quick curl route, that's going to be incomplete. That was jarred loose. Luke Laska was the intended receiver, but Kamari Patterson laid the wood.
You talk about closing. They just try to run a hook over the middle of the field, and Kamari Patterson, 171 pounds, gets there in a heartbeat. They run a little play action. Patterson comes flying up from his safety position, and he delivers the blow. And if I'm Luke Laska, I'm saying, you know what? Hockey's looking pretty good right now. Because that is a contact. That's a guy running at you at about 15, 20 miles an hour and putting it right in your stomach. But now 2nd and long, and this is what St. Mary's wants to get you into.
Right side on the ground, a gain of just a couple. That's Kellen Payne.
Shep, I said in the first half, I'm a big believer in that first down play action. The downside is if it's incomplete. Now you're in the 2nd and long. You'd think they have an easy completion there, but because of the great break of the ball by Kamari Patterson, you're in 2nd and long. So now you're
That'll get receivers
7,
looking around a little bit too.
And now 28, better known as Ryan Harrington, is salivating. This man got his 11th sack on the last series.
Wants to throw, pressure comes. He eludes it, rolling to his right. Did a nice job just to get away from the pressure. Thrown out of bounds by Kyrie Williams. And Orchard Lake St. Mary's defense stands tall yet again.
Well, you're going to see pressure coming from this side, coming in quickly, and it gets there. Takes the fullback right into the quarterback and forcing Tungate to get out of the pocket and try to make something out of nothing, but there's just nothing there. Very disciplined defensively by Orchard Lake on their pass rush. They're not creating any natural lanes. We saw them take off early in the game. Those lanes are not there any longer, so great adjustment by the defensive front.
That was Luke Jackson on the blitz that put the pressure on Langdon Tungate. They'll punt it away on a line drive. Willis backpedaling inside his own 35. And tripped up at about the 42-yard line. Now it becomes a near must-stop for Byron Center's defense. It'll still be the senior Axel Newell at quarterback. Williams off the inside give. Spun around, carried a couple of would-be tacklers past the 45 to the 47.
Well, we've seen this play numerous times tonight. They just bring him in motion, he being Bryson Williams, and it's a handoff, and all the line is stepping left. It's a zone type of blocking, and he just stretches it to the sidelines and tries to find a lane to cut it up into, and it's really been their most effective run play. Big difference when you get 5 on first down, as Orchard Lake just did, compared to an incomplete pass and a 2nd and 10 setup that Byron Center faced.
2 receivers to the left of Axel Newell. Direct snap. It goes to Darren Jones Jr. Feeling his way left side. Came out of that pile into Byron Center territory.
You know what? I'm huge in high school football. I hate the scrum. I hate when they let him the pile push, but that wasn't. That was different. He had his legs under him, and he was pushing pretty much independently. It just shows you how strong that Darren Jones is. He's able to get about 3 yards after we thought he was stopped.
He's the lone setback on a 3rd down and short. Orchard Lake St. Mary's has scored on back-to-back possessions. Jones again. Another helmet pops loose. See where his forward progress.
I think he's going to be just a hair short. If the line judge on this side has the mark, he's going to. It's going to be, what, 6 inches short? Now, you don't need to measure this. They didn't say for measurement, did they?
That's left tackle Kenneth Paul, by the way, the left tackle, the starting left tackle. He's got to sit out a play because the helmet popped off.
Okay, but they're measuring this in the stick is right on the 48-yard line, and that clearly with the hash there is 6 to 8 inches short. But they're going to measure it anyways. You know, set up a 4th down in inches. But I'm telling you right now, and I'll bet Shep's house on it.
Feel free.
I can't afford betting that out. But they're definitely going to be short.
And one would guess Orchard Lake St. Mary's would go for it here, wouldn't you? You were dead on there. I get to keep my house. Thank you.
Yeah, they're going to go for it. And they might go direct. They might do wildcat and either direct snap to Darren Jones.
I mean, the way they've been rushing the football, you would think that's a given.
And how much of a chance, if you're Byron Center, do you take with your defense? You try to blitz gaps, try to run those A-gap pressure like we saw Orchard Lake get caught doing for a big play by Byron Center. Do you do that, try to get into a crease and get penetration and get a TFL? But you do that, then you expose yourself to the edge play. They got the full house tee. This has been their bread and butter. You just got to try to guess which way. Off tackle with 2 leading.
Left side, second effort, gets Williams the 1st down.
Ooh, he was grabbed in the backfield for about a 1-yard loss, but not to be denied. We're going to look here. It's going to be here and here, and he's going to get it. Watch right in there. When he gets to the point of attack, he gets grabbed. Someone gets penetration. I think it's number 3, but he just doesn't have the strength getting into the backfield to bring him down. And even though Isaac Lee, number 3 for Byron Center, got there, he couldn't finish the play.
Willis on the end around. Leans forward with the 44, 43-yard line or so of Byron Center.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing, those Shepherd, the running backs of St. Mary's, is Byron Center's getting penetration, getting hands on him for no gain, and ends up being a 2 to 3 yard gain. They're just really good yards after contact. Very physical running backs.
Yeah, very strong, aren't they? They run very hard. It's one of the things Jermaine Gonzalez told us about his running game, the downhill push that they oftentimes get, whether it be Jones or Willis or Williams. Goike the third, who's now the lone tailback, behind his quarterback, Axel Newell. To Goike the third on a direct snap. Not much there off the left edge. Maybe a gain of a yard or so.
Interesting, you know, Trey Goike, we have not called his name much, although he did have 61 carries for 406 yards during the regular season. He's been quiet here tonight. A couple carries, really not real productive. So now they're 3rd and 5, though, Shep, and we'd say I believe they're in 4-down territory. If they get positive yards or no negative play, they might think about punting them deep, playing defense. But any type of positive gain here, I think it's 4-down territory.
Haven't thrown it much. Will Axel Newell put it up on 3rd down and 5?
Well, if he does, keep an eye on 31, the tight end, Jaden Savory. He's to the left side of your screen.
Chad Willis split left and a flag on the play.
Did he get delay? Wow, that's a tough one.
That is huge.
Woo-hoo, that is a tough one, and Coach Gonzalez will not be happy. Some of the assistants are clapping, trying to pick the guys back up, but we talk about how it changed. We saw what it did to Byron Center, going from a 3rd and 5 to a 3rd and 10. Let's see how Orchard Lake can handle the same situation. We said we haven't seen Axel Newell throw it, but this might be the time we do. We got a tight split down here, so that means you're working a lot of field out here. So a lot of pressure.
Newell just 1 for 3 through the air.
Oh,
he will throw. Swings it out and knocked down. He had a man down the left sideline. It was Bryson Williams, but he never looked that way.
We're going to look here. Bryson Williams, number 4, let it go. I think they're going to motion him. He comes all the way across the backfield. Releases down the field. You see him putting his hands up there and jumping. But what people need to understand is he's going to release and go right by, and they all come up on the run. They see the action of the jet movement, and it brings the corner up, and Bryson Williams goes behind him. But Bryson has to understand, even though you're open, the quarterback doesn't necessarily see you. He was looking to the left flat a little bit. He got caught. Could have been a huge play. Instead, it forces a punt.
Are you saying the flat is his first read?
Well, I'm not sure if it's his first read, but that's where his eyes, as we could see, Newell was looking. He was looking left.
And another flag.
Another delay of game.
Delay of game. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty.
Going backwards.
Now, if this was the NFL or college, I'd say that's not a big deal. It just gives the punter a little more room to drop the ball inside the 20. But in high school, that's 10 yards on the series you lost. And you look at the return man. Can you get a number on him, Shep? Who's back there for? Is that Isaac
Lee, yeah. Barron with a nice punt. And Lee makes a fair catch at the 17-yard line. Byron Center last week against East Lansing. Very good offensively, especially good defensively. East Lansing averaged 38 points per game on the year. Byron Center held them to 14 points in that semifinal rout, winning it by 30.
Well, this is time to man up. If you're Byron Center with that offensive line, they've been getting out physical for about the last 2 quarters. St. Mary's has dominated that front. You need to step up. You need to start creating some creases and try to get that run game going to take the pressure off Tungate, the quarterback.
Looking for the edge and spun around at about the 20-yard line is Kellen Payne. This is a Byron Center team that at 12-1, their lone loss was to Muskegon Mona Shores in week 3. And then came back and beat Mona Shores in the districts.
You see that a lot. We did a game, I'm trying to think who it was, that played Howell and lost to Howell early in the year, then came back in the playoffs and beat them soundly.
Yeah, Hudsonville. Yep. They'll be playing tomorrow. Big run to the 35. It's the sophomore campaign. That opens things up a little bit for Byron Center. The ground attack back.
This is huge. Just a little underneath handoff by Cam. He finds a crease, put foot in the ground, and heads north. I'm sorry, I had to sneeze there, and it caught me right halfway through calling the play. Excuse me. There's no sneezing in the booth, I was just told. Thank you, Latoya.
2 receivers to the right. Langdon Tungate out of the shotgun. That's a reverse. It didn't fool St. Mary's. Coates with a flag because of the face mask. He made the tackle, but he got up too high on the face mask of Isaac Lee.
That'll give him a first down. It's not an automatic first down, but if it's a spot foul, that'll put him 15 yards and get him right up to the 45-yard line. Officials are getting together, they're discussing it.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Yep, that's a tough one. We're going to look here, really well defended. This is a shame that they bring him down by going to the mask. This is the second really reverse they tried running, but no one on the Orchard Lake side's being fooled, and there it is. You could see the head turn. We didn't see the hand on it, but you could just tell the way the head gets turned. There it is. Excellent call by the official. Easy call with Christopher Coates reaching and getting the mask, and 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Moves the ball to midfield and now into St. Mary's territory. Cam Payne is stripped up at the 45-yard line. Cameron Payne's had a nice game tonight. The 5'11", 200-pound sophomore has one of the touchdown runs for Byron Center.
Looks like a little more burst than his brother. Brother a little more of a downhill physical back. He has a little bit more foot in the ground and cut and get north and south. But, you know, we talked before this drive started about the running game was on life support and needed to be jump-started a little bit, and they have. They're starting to run the ball a little bit in this drive.
Tungate will keep it himself, and he's dropped immediately.
This is Tungate has got to be saying this is tough sledded now. I don't remember this last week against East Lansing. It's when these guys are not arm tacklers, they are maulers. When they hit you, you stop. No more extra yards, no pulling out of tackles. So this is a big call now. 3rd down and 5. What do? You get isolated up top as a receiver. You try to get up your quarterback out of the pocket with a little run pass option.
Off play action, pressure comes. Tungate eludes one, but couldn't get away from another. Coming in from the edge, Ryan Harrington again.
Sack number 12 on the year for Ryan Harrington. Yeah, you're up against it right now if you're Byron Center. They just cannot protect long enough to let anything develop down the field. Ryan Harrington doing a good job. Also pressure inside by the linebacker that time. So it's you got to punt. You at least you have a chance to flip the field for Byron Center. And once again, you're going to see the same look by St. Mary's as you saw on the fake punt, which happened almost the same circumstance near midfield on about a 4th and 7. They're just playing punt safe. You watch that front line. They're not going to rush hard. They're going to just stay back and make sure that the ball is punted.
Brayson Williams to receive the punt. It's not a good one. It does take a Byron Center roll. It goes end over end to about the 23-yard line. That's where St. Mary's takes over. Neither team able to break through, except for St. Mary's here in the 3rd, and they're up 21-13.
Welcome back in. Orchard Lake St. Mary's up 21-13, and one guy that used to make really big plays for the Eaglets back in the day was Allen Robinson. He's an Orchard Lake graduate. 2011, went on to play at Penn State. He was 2-time Big Ten Receiver of the Year, got drafted to the NFL in 2014 by the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's made his way around the league, and this year, the hometown guy decided to come back home. The Detroit Lions signed him, so that means he got to take place in the Thanksgiving game yesterday. The nice win over the Chicago Bears, and got to eat some turkey legs after the game. Shep and Rob, how about that?
Yeah, love to see the hometown guys come back and play, don't you? Love to see Aiden Hutchinson, a hometown guy, come back and play, but we'll have to wait to the Super Bowl, if at all. All right, here comes Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They have the lone touchdown in the 3rd quarter off a turnover. They go back to work, as does Darren Jones Jr., left side. Might have gained a yard.
Well, nice penetration getting inside. That's Nolan Stubblefield, number 50, really got in there quickly and got Jones before he could get ahead of steam. That's important because he's a physical back.
Yeah, Stubblefield, a state qualifier in the discus throw during the springtime in track.
I could never get that to fly right. It was like a football being kicked off when I threw it.
Never
like
tried.
End over end, and I don't think that's good. I think it's supposed to spin.
I thought you threw the hammer. That's why they called you Thor. Right up the gut. Big hole. That's what they needed right there. Darren Jones able to break one free to the 42.
That's really the best success they've had in a running play that wasn't out of the full house tee or the motion with the wing and the zone play. That's just a quick hitter up the middle, and Jones does a nice job.
Newell off play action, knocked down.
Wow, that was dangerous. Really nice play coming up with a quick read, and coming up and almost knocking that down was Eli Farrell, number 20, the safety. He read that and he jumped in the path of the ball, and that would have been something if that ball went the other way on the interception.
Eli Farrow just 5'7", $145. But Mark Cisco says he may be little, but he packs a hell of a punch.
Pound for pound, he's one of the toughest players on the Bulldogs team. You know, we haven't talked about Eli Farrow or Tate Bainbridge or Will Lake much in the secondary due to the fact that it's been this right here, a running game.
Yep. Jones breaks free, pivot sideline, and then driven out of bounds. Couple of big runs on the drive by Darren Jones Jr. and Orchard Lake St. Mary's is knocking on the door again.
Well, this is just a nice lead play. They pull Antonio Johnson, the big tackle. He gets lost in it, and then Landon Conrad is forced to run him down and pull him down out of bounds. But this will be with minute 43 in the third quarter. This is huge if Orchard Lake can get some points.
Newell wants to throw. Sidearms it across the middle. It's caught with a flag on the play. Stumbling in, touchdown. Let's see if it counts. Chad Willis.
I think it's going to come back. It came so quick, but it looks like they didn't get a hold or some type of illegal block inside because the umpire threw it, the one that stands behind with the linebackers.
Holding. Offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
They got the big man. We're going to look. They get Antonio. Big number Johnson, number 54. Yeah, right here in the middle. You see that. When the defender is past you, between you and the quarterback, and you have your hands on him still, you usually get called for holding.
So much for the touchdown celebration. It was a good one. They'll have to wait.
Well, you look outside, they got the slide, and you see this guy right here. He's been uber talented.
Jones spins out of a tackle. Wow. Moves forward, going north and south. Love the way he runs north. Squares the shoulders. Good looking back. Turned something out of nothing.
Man, you get penetration quickly. He gets hit about 5 yards deep. And this is a great look. Getting upfield was Aiden Van Dam, big number 70. Gets a grip on it. He's able to spin out of that, and he takes off and starts throwing some rubber behind his feet there from forward field. But the Byron Center defense, they swarm. That's what you have to do against really good running back. Gang tackle.
2nd and 17. Newell wants to throw, and that's dropped by Willis. That's a screen that was set up, and had it been completed, that would have had some big yardage attached to it.
Well, and that's tough. I feel for Willis a little bit. He ends up being about 8 yards away from Newell, the quarterback, and that ball's coming pretty hot, and it gets him right in the midsection. But hey, what a break, turn of events. I mean, you're looking at being two scores down. Now all of a sudden, you got Orchard Lake at a 3rd down and 17-18. Pin your ears back defensively, play some zone behind it.
Ball resting at the 33 of Byron Center.
Looks like they're playing some two-man, manned up across, shallow, and 2 safeties deep.
St. Mary's 1 for 5 on 3rd downs. Pressure comes. Newell eludes it. Throws on the run. It's going to be out of bounds.
We're going to look. Let's keep an eye on Kellen Payne. All right, he's right here. Watch the move he puts on. Let it go. Just a pull, tuck, and then he fights through the tailback as well. Jones has to pick him up in an excellent pursuit. Good speed up front. A couple other the defensive linemen chasing, forcing to throw out of bounds. And now you're in a situation
you're in no man's land.
Yeah, you're on the 30. Yeah. If you punt, it goes in the end zone. It's a 12 or 13-yard punch. Right. So you might as well toss it up. Use your athletes.
And out of field goal range.
You got to watch it down here. This is where I'm going. This is the farthest away you're going to get.
Pressure comes. Newell delivers. Down the middle of the field. Touchdown! Oh, wow! Angelo Chapman. Somebody broke containment, and St. Mary's stuns them.
And what a seed that Axel Newell watches on the hash, pressure in his face. That's Payne getting ready to hit him, and you can't throw the ball any better. Right down the hash mark. Nice route. Good job by the receiver. That's Angelo Chapman. He hugs the hash, lets the quarterback bring him in. What a turn of events.
4th and 17. They don't just convert, they score on the 4th down attempt. 8 plays, 78 yards, and the lead is now 15.
Chapman is going to just be out to the right in the slot, and a little look off. by the quarterback. Newell does a nice job of just holding that safety a hair. And by that little look to the right, it allows Chapman to get down the hash mark and a little bit more room where the quarterback, Newell, can place the ball. Touchdown. That is just a beautiful play. I mean, you can't forget, he had Kellen Payne bearing down on him. As his arm goes through, Payne just crushes him. But that's what you like to see your quarterback, stay tall in the face of pressure, and that's what he did.
Boy, that has just hit Chapman's second receiving touchdown of the year.
Well, it's a nice job by Chapman, and I'm glad he gets a touchdown. But that's 95% on Axel Newell, the quarterback, dealing with the pressure, holding the safety, throwing a seed down, down the hash. And all Chapman really had to do was just run straight and catch the ball, which was perfectly thrown, which he does. But Axel Newell, geez, that was an unbelievable play. Well, we said we hadn't seen him throw much.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he can.
Could not have thrown it any better on a play like that. And Byron Center is just stunned right now. With 43 seconds remaining in the third, they need a big play of their own. They won't get it on the return. They'll be bottled up at the 32. And now they'll try and kickstart their offense that has been kind of stuck in neutral for a while.
It's almost as Orchard Lake St. Mary's has figured things out. They saw that offense in the first quarter. They had some success. They'd be in Byron Center in the run game, but it's really been a slow process since then. A couple gains on that last series, Shep, with Cameron Payne, but yards have been hard to come by. This St. Mary's defense has really bowed up and done a nice job taking that run game away, which is the bread and butter of this offense. And really take the middle of the field, as you said a couple times, we tackle to tackle, which also negates Tungate, the quarterback, because that's where he likes to make a lot of his yards, between the tackles on his scrambles and on his read plays.
Byron Center has not scored since the 11:21 mark of the second quarter. Tungate on a roll. Now he'll tuck it and run, spin his way past the 40 to the 41-yard line. Probably the final play of the third quarter.
On Byron Center, I try to get another one off. I mean, clock is your enemy right now, too. You're down 2 scores, and you're getting ready to head to the fourth quarter. You have time here with 15 seconds and going to get a play without hurrying.
Second and 2. Tungate handles the high snap, found the edge, cuts it back. He could be gone. They were looking for a big play. He didn't reach pay dirt, but he got it close to the 25-yard line. Christopher Coates tracked him down from behind to prevent the long touchdown run.
Well, Landon Tungate does a nice job here. Everything looks a little bit disjointed. The snap was high, but he gets a bunch of guys in front of him, and then he makes the good decision of cutting it up when he sees a crease. And then he has some pretty good speed, and he gets run down by the secondary that time. A good job, good hustle coming from the backside was Christopher Coates.
Big plays made by Orchard Lake St. Mary's here in the third. They've scored the lone 2 touchdowns in this quarter, but Byron Center tries to answer when we start the fourth. After this, about 3,000 total yards on the year from Landon Tungate, the quarterback for Byron Center. But Orchard Lake St. Mary's knew that, Rubes, just like you did, and they've done something about that tonight. They've taken him out of rhythm.
Well, yeah, I would say that. They knew what they're coming against, but more importantly, they're winning up front. Their front seven of Orchard Lake has been dominant since the second quarter. They've been winning the battle of the line. And when you do that, you don't leave any space. I don't care how good of a quarterback you are or how you can run the ball. You're going to not have much success when you're running against a wall, and that's what that white jersey front line has been since the second quarter.
1st and 10, we start the fourth. St. Mary's up 28-13. Tungate still has it. Wiggles his way, backpedals his way, broke free, got inside the 15 to the 14-yard line.
I think he heard us, Shep. He thinks we're disrespecting him, and he's going to make us look silly because that was a heck of a play by Tungate. Landon does a nice job here. They pulled, it's a little quarterback counter. They pulled the right side guard and tackle, and then he just does a lot on his own. It's going to be about a 3 or 4 yard gain, and because of wonderful effort and good strength, he makes it to a first down.
Kellen Payne, a cutback, broke free, and then lunges to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, we talked a lot about the running backs with Darren Jones and Chad Willis getting a few carries, and Trey Goyke and Bryson Williams of Orchard Lake, how strong, how they run. These backs run pretty strong here, too. We look at Byron Center, the two Payne boys run well, and the quarterback, Landon Tungate, he's strong with the ball. Some really tough runners in this game.
Tungate on a quarterback draw. He's got a seam. Touchdown.
Unbelievable. All we had to do was say, hey, where's he been? Shep, between the third and fourth quarter, we talked a little bit about it because where has he been? Well, he hasn't been much for the first three quarters as far as space and making plays, but he has started this fourth quarter with a vengeance. Really nice job, really good vision, hardly touch in the end zone. So let's give some props to the offensive line. As you can see here, it's just a little cross block action in front, a good lead block by Cam Payne, and Tungate does the rest. Now it makes it a 9-point game. Are they going to go for 2 here?
Better get after it here pretty quick.
Well, there's play clocks is still 20, but what are they going to do?
Trips to the right. Tungate out of the pistol formation. Looks that way. Floats it that way. Caught by Isaac Lee, but he can't convert.
If you run the arrow, you got to bench it. When I say bench it, we're going to pause. Yeah, let's pause it. I'm going to show you what I mean, Shep. If you're going to run the arrow, if you're going to run a bench route, you got to go up and then arrow. You just can't go here because the defensive backs, come, let it go. You got to work it, and it just comes from the deep guy, and he just basically runs to the sidelines, but you catch the ball 3 yards deep, and when you have secondary like this that are aggressive and quick as Orchard Lake, you better get in the end zone when you start running your bench and when you're coming off that, because they will close quickly as they did, and now it's still a 2-possession game.
Five plays, 67 yards, Rubes. And here's what's at stake. St. Mary's 9th state championship, the first time, though, in 8 seasons since 2016. The first ever in Byron Center lore.
Well, if you count this one, if St. Mary's were to win it and get their 9th, and if you add Newberry's and North Farmington's together, how many more would they have than us?
I don't know how many Newberry has, but
North Farmington has.
And North Farmington has 1.
Well, they do.
Yeah.
Was that a Matt Shepard-led team?
I wish it was.
Yeah.
It was not.
Now, Newberry has 0.
So, in other words, Orchard Lake St. Mary's pretty good.
Right.
Who, by the way, opened up a proverbial can on North Farmington in the pre-districts to start this playoff run. Flag on the play.
We're going to have offsides because they kill the kick. If you're off, the kicking team is offsides.
Encroachment, kicking team, 5-yard penalty.
Now, why is that called encroachment when they're offside? I don't know. Officials. Hey, right. Come on, that's offside.
Before I can answer, you've already got the answer.
Yeah, encroachment. Come on.
I think there's another question that some may have is why go for 2 there? If you kick 1, you get to within 8.
Yeah.
You kick the extra point, you get to within 8.
You had 1 block.
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to go for 2.
No,
you and I have talked about this for a long time. When do you go for 2?
When you have to.
Right.
Don't help them by going to it early, and then they know how they can change their game plan.
The squib kick has been instituted by Byron Center all night long. Good field position for St. Mary's to start at the 37.
Keep up with everything.
You're reading
MHSAA on social media. Look them up, Shep, on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube for tournament updates, event announcements, video highlights, and high school athletics news from around the state of Michigan. It's the best way to connect with the MHSAA every day of the week.
This is your 3rd straight game.
I'm ad-libbing too, by the way. Is that okay?
That's pretty darn good.
All right.
Yeah.
I've been doing this 33 years. I've always wanted to do a couple reads, and you guys, you never let me. I did teach for 30 years.
We do know you can read. Williams broke free. Chased to the outside. And ankle tackled near midfield by Isaac Lee.
You know, Let's watch Bryson Williams. He's going to head to the right on the jet. Oop, look at this. Lot of black jerseys. So since I'm really fast, I'm going to just do this and come out of there and make something out of nothing. Zip, zip, just like a Three Stooges episode. Whoop, whoop, and he takes off, and what a wonderful run and vision. You can't coach that. You can say you want your kids to have it. They all don't. Bryson Williams does.
Meanwhile, up the middle goes Darren Jones Jr. He's found some success over the guard and center here in the second half. So credit to Abram Marcial and Gregory Smith and Antonio Johnson in the middle of that St. Mary's offensive line. Byron Center down 9, has to get a stop here. Can't help but wonder a little bit out loud how many more possessions they may have with the way Orchard Lake St. Mary's runs the football.
And I like what Orchard Lake St. Mary's is doing right now, Shep. They're running the clock. They're running the play clock. It's a 2-possession game. You're in charge. The clock is your friend.
Jones again scoots through a hole. Now to the middle of the field. To the 15-yard line.
We're going to look at this, Shep. Antonio Johnson, we're going to look here. I want you to watch him right here. All right, let it go. Hopefully we can keep the camera on him. He pulls. He gets up. He has him. Look at drive. Still driving. Stay with him. Stay with him. Stay with him. It's like the blind side. When Michael Orr takes a guy into the stands, he drove him 20 yards. Coaches love to see that at the next level, boy. That shows effort.
Yeah, the coaches say he plays with an edge. He's a great practice player as much as anything else, and that's important.
That is a great compliment.
Yeah.
Because when you're the best player on the team and maybe the most highly touted recruit coming out, and you're the best practice player, that's when great teams are made, because everyone else is going to try to practice as hard as you, and when your leader does it, your best player, then it makes it easy for everyone else to fall in line.
Axel Newell out of the pistol. Goike the third, down to the 5-yard line and up for another first down.
Stopped by Farrow and Payne. First down and goal from the 5.
First and goal. St. Mary's up 9 and looking for more. Jones stutter steps. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a half a yard or one. Second and goal.
That's a good job. That's one of the first times that when they met Jones in the hole that he didn't get any more yards. He's got so many yards after contact today, but that time he was stoned right on the 5-yard line, set up a second down and goal from the 5.
Clock on the side of St. Mary's. Williams, a direct snap to him. Make it Jones. Forward, touchdown. Jones beats him up the middle. That's his second touchdown run of the night.
Well, you're going to see, this is just pause it right here. You got a wall of white guys with the jerseys on there just killing, pushing it. The black jerseys are struggling. The white jerseys are winning at the point of attack. And also by design and by formation, you outnumber Byron Center at the point. That's really well designed. And then you're also pulling a guard to get there besides the heavy look that you have at the point of attack.
The extra point is good. And St. Mary's continues their ground assault on Byron Center. 7 plays, 63 yards, capped off by Darren Jones Jr.'s second rushing touchdown of the night.
Well, Orchard Lake has opened up a 35-19 lead on the Bulldogs of Byron Center. But we're going to look at this touchdown. Now look at this. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to have 5 with the lead back. Now let it go. Just not enough black jerseys there. Good kick out, nice down block by Savory, number 31, and you just get a lot of bodies through the hole, and Jones does the rest. Just physical back that we've seen, 5'11", 195-pound senior. And that's just really coming out of the huddle. You have the advantage right away because you have outflanked them with a lot of bodies where you're going to run the ball.
19 carries, 152 yards, and a couple of touchdown lunges for Darren Jones Jr. Now, Byron Center, not only do they have to score, Rubes, but they have to score quickly. Because the clock is the friend of St. Mary's, for sure.
Well, the good news is, though, I mean, it is a two-possession game. 4 scores, 2 possessions. You're 16 points down. You need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. But you only have to have the ball twice, and you have an opportunity to come back into the game. You know, that's a tough goal.
Yeah, because they've had a hard time stopping St. Mary's.
Yes, they have. And they've had a hard time generating any type of chunk play offense, any big plays down the field. Not many 20-yard plus plays with this offense tonight. And they're going to be forced to throw the ball in that front. We know of St. Mary's. When they know you're going to throw, they're coming.
You saw Tungate's numbers from early on to the last 2 drives. Last 2 drives, he's been good. Stops, pressure comes, eludes 1 tackler, and gets to the 41-yard line.
And now you got to show a little bit of urgency. If you're the offense, you got to get back. You got to hurry up, get the play call, get to the line of scrimmage. That play clock should never get below 20 seconds now.
Six and a half left to go here in the ball game. Good news for Byron Center. They got a quarterback who can spin it. Does so to Isaac Lee, who's dropped right away at the 45-yard line. Brings up 3rd down.
Orchard Lake's going to be fine playing a little bit off zone, off coverage, allowing you to catch underneath and rally and get you for short gains because there's just not enough time in this game with 6 minutes and counting to do this.
Quarterback draw. Tungate. Pass midfield. Broke a tackle. And spun around inside the 30. That's the big gainer they were looking for.
Well,
Luke Jackson threw him down.
Some people might say, why was he not doing this the whole game? Is because this is out of necessity. He sees that lane, but then that closes. But he just uses his athleticism and kind of cuts back against the green. And we talk about those chunk plays he needed. Well, there was one right there.
Tungate's going to swing it out. Inbounds. Good tackle by Christopher Coates.
That's the second time, though. They've had the slant has been there. But he's not looking at the receivers in that situation because I really think that Isaac Lee on the slant route was open the last couple times.
A loss of a couple, 2nd and long. Pressure comes from the edge. Down he goes. There were a slew of St. Mary's players all over him. Chase Arnold was the first one to get to him. Couldn't bring him down.
Charge timeout. Byron Center. This is their 2nd of the half.
Well, you can see we talk about pressure. He's able to get rid of the first guy. Then he runs into the next one. And that was Billy Hadenbaugh coming in there and making a nice play. Although he's a kicker, and I'm not sure that's a kicker making that play.
Yeah, I think that's Darrell Williams Jr.
Number 38, Shep?
36, yeah, 36, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 38.
Yeah.
My eyes are failing me, but yeah, you got to do a job protecting, and you got to give your quarterback a little bit of time, and right now that's just collapsing so quickly. But as I said, time and time again, when you know what the other team's going to do, this game becomes a lot easier. And you know right now they have to throw. They have to drop back and try to get the ball vertical. And those guys up front are loving life.
Yeah. They just pin their ears back and get after it. Byron Center down to 1 timeout now. Had to burn it because of the loss on the play, 3rd down and 18.
Well, the irony of this is we saw this early on in this half, 3rd and 18. Byron Center got a stop, and on 4th and 18, Orchard Lake struck him with that touchdown to Chapman down the hash. So let's see if they can repay Orchard Lake with that gift of a touchdown on long yardage situation.
Byron Center 1 for 8 on 3rd downs. That one conversion came on this drive, and a good connection along the sideline to Isaac Lee. Short of the 1st down needed, but 4 down no matter what.
Yeah, but that's nice, Shep. You took a big chunk now. That opens up a lot more opportunities for you in your offensive game plan with a 4th and 6. instead of, you're looking at a 4th and 18, an incomplete pass. Or the completion, Isaac Lee really opens things up. Look at Isaac, number 3, having a nice game, both sides of the ball.
He also stepped out of bounds to stop the clock at 4:58, which helps a little bit.
Yeah, in this situation, you tell your receivers, you got to get past the sticks. And I would tell my receivers, you got to get 2 yards past, because if you're running a curl or something, you're working back to the ball. You don't want to stop at 6 and work back to 4.
Helps to have a mobile quarterback in Tungate.
And a lot of space right here, though. A lot of.
Byron Center burns their final timeout. Mark Cisco knows this is the season right here. He needs to convert on 4th and 6. We'll have it for you when we return. Menards brings you the big money moment. Let's make it moments right here. Early in the 3rd, the forced turnover. St. Mary's gets it. 1st and goal from the 3rd. Very next play, they score a touchdown on the ground, courtesy of Williams. And then on a 4th and 17 on their next possession, Axel Newell finds Angelo Chapman for 33 yards to pay dirt, capping off an 8-play, 78-yard drive. At the time, it was a 1-possession game. That made it 28-13. And since then, Orchard Lake St. Mary's really hasn't looked back. They lead at 35-19 with under 5 minutes to play. And Byron Center staring at a 4th down and 6. At the St. Mary's 24, this is the season for the Bulldogs. Landon Tungate. Sliding grab made at the 15-yard line, 1st down.
Well, a nice job that time in the backfield. I don't know if it was Kellen or Campaign. I think it's Kellen picking up the blitz coming free, and actually kind of gets a piece of 2 guys. It gives Tungate just enough time to get the ball off and convert on the 1st down.
Will Lake on the receiving end of that pass to keep the season alive. Tungate now lofts it for the corner, and way too high for Isaac Lee.
But they're coming. That wave of defensive linemen is just coming through. That offensive line of Byron Center is just outmatched right now because they're hardly slowing them down. Yeah. And you watch it. They are coming through so quickly. If you're Landon Tungate, you're catching the ball, setting your feet and throwing because you don't have any time to do anything.
So how do you beat a pass rush like that?
Well, maybe you screen them, but when you're this close to the end zone, it's tough because no one takes deep drops. But, yeah, you got to do something to try and slow them down. You say draw, but, man, they're just collapsing everything.
They roll the pocket. Tungate throws on the run. Incomplete.
You know, Shep, we're looking at the game here, is when the quarterback is out to the right and all your linemen are still back in the middle of the field and all the white jerseys on defense are chasing you, not a lot of holdup is happening up front. You look at Batdorf and Kitchen and Butler and Krause and Bovea, they've had their hands full today. That offensive line has had their hands full with that defensive front of St. Mary's. They are as advertised.
Does have man on the left side. Lee against Coates. They'll throw it to Payne. Made a man miss. Good effort to get to the 10-yard line. That'll bring up another 4th down play for Byron Center with the clock working toward the 4-minute mark.
Now, if you're Byron Center, you think, okay, let's spread him out. Let's try to give our quarterback, Tungate, a little bit of a crease and let him use his legs and get this. But that they're bringing pressure inside. Look, here it comes once again.
Yep, blitz is coming. Tungate feels it, throws across the middle, incomplete. Knocked down on a nice play by Kamari Patterson. That should seal the deal for St. Mary's.
Well, this is 2 great plays in one. One by the defender, Kamari Patterson. But you have to look at what Landon Tungate sees here. Watch the pressure in his face. He has nowhere to go right there. He still gets the ball off, and it's a well-thrown ball. But just a better play defensively by Kamari. Coming over the top, not draping the arm on him, playing the ball, and that's pretty much it. Now 4:03 to go. It's going to be a tough go for this Byron Center team. Let's say create a turnover somehow, Shep.
Right.
This offense has been pretty productive, and Orchard Lake maybe could just Pac-Man the ball and turn out the lights here and get championship number 9.
Low snap and a flag on the play with the backup quarterback, Jabin Gonzalez, in for St. Mary's.
Offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
That's against Antonio Johnson. Gonzalez in for the first time here tonight.
Well, he's the future at quarterback for the Eaglets of Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
The son of Jermaine Gonzalez, and wears the same number as his dad. That's not an easy thing to do when your father's an All-American. And look at this run right here. They try to strip it loose. But Darren Jones Jr. has been an absolute horse the entire game for St. Mary's.
They have. We're going to look here at a replay. This is how they coach now. First guy to hold the runner up. Next guy come in. You got to try to strip the ball, but great ball security by the running backs of Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and the clock's going, and Byron Center, I believe, has burned all their timeouts. So now total control of this game, this clock by the Eaglets, and Jermaine Gonzalez filling in for George Port, or replacing rather, not filling in. Coach Port is retired for good. Will get his first state championship.
Willis to the outside, still on his feet, and all the way up to the 34-yard line.
Well, this offensive front is starting to win, too. You can see nice blocks up front, creating creases, and you have talented running backs. They don't need a lot, and right now they're getting a lot. That offensive line is winning. There's a look at Darren Jones, and you gotta, I like what Jermaine Gonzalez has done as a coach. So he spreads the wealth. He's got talented players in that backfield with Darren Jones, who's a senior, Bryson Williams, who also is a senior, and he understands this is their time. Give them the ball, move it around, give everyone some opportunities to eat.
Each over 100 yards rushing here today. And a late flag.
False start. Offense number 4. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's first and 15.
Goike backpedals his way past the 35. Boy, St. Mary's over 350 yards on the ground now. Here's what we got coming up for you tomorrow. It starts with Division 7, Millington and Monroe St. Mary's Catholic Central. The only matchup of 2 undefeateds for the state title game. And then it's Detroit Martin Luther King against Zeeland West, followed by Pontiac Notre Dame Prep and Frankenmuth, who's also undefeated. Cass Tech and Hudsonville in the Division I state championship wraps things up.
Well, those are the 2 bottom ones that we have tomorrow, Shep, you and I, and I'm looking forward to them. I think we got 2 good ones coming.
Goike the third, bounce into the outside, wants to stay inbounds, but went out of bounds after picking up the first down with under 2 minutes to go.
I'll tell you, the Eaglets on this drive, Orchard Lake and White, 2 or 3 of these runs are very, very close to breaking and going all the way. So another first down. Basically, I could almost take a knee here, but they'll probably run one more play. If they get one more first down, definitely it's victory formation time.
Jabin Gonzalez gives to Goike the third to the outside. Will he score? Nope, driven out of bounds inside the 20.
Well, let's take a look here. You're going to see the offensive line. It's just a straight ahead zone play. A little bit of slow on the developing, and Goike shows that he's got some speed as well. And if it's not for Will Lake coming all the way from the backside, that's going to be a touchdown. I said, Shep, 2 or 3 plays have been really close to breaking in this drive. So now with Gonzalez at quarterback, I'm thinking
he picked up 26 on the last carry. Now he's spun around at the 18-yard line.
They really could take a knee 2 more times if they want to, and this game is over. There's no timeouts left. Maybe victory formation, or get to see someone putting a helmet on coming in the game. Coaches just haven't worked the clock here, but yeah, quite a performance. I mean, Byron Center, you're going to come here, you're going home obviously disappointed you didn't get the win, but maybe this is something for this program becoming one of the powers from the west side. We've seen the Zeelands of the world and the Rockfords of the world. Well, now maybe it's time that Byron Center becomes one of the football powers coming out of the Grand Rapids area with their trip here today. You have to start sometime, Shep.
Yeah, they had a lot of seniors, though. 30 seniors, 29 juniors. They really thought they had the mix to get it done, but they ran into a really physical Orchard Lake St. Mary's team that lost just a few games this year, but found the right chemistry at the right time in the postseason. Jermaine Gonzalez is going to do something not many coaches have done in the history of this state. He's going to win a state championship as a head coach and a state championship as a player at the same school. Number 9 is also fine for Jermaine Gonzalez and St. Mary's. They beat Byron Center 35-19. And they are crowned the Division II state champions of 2024. Players of the game brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. 2 men who rushed for well over 100 yards here for St. Mary's tonight. Bryson Williams and Darren Jones Jr. Look at their numbers right there. Part of a rushing attack, Rubes, that had the Eaglets rush for 397 yards on the night.
That is big work, Shep. That's a job well done by that offensive line. Those running backs did a nice job and very talented. And you knew early on that Byron Center is going to have their hands full with this rushing attack. And in the defensive front, I think, as well, of St. Mary's, stepped their game up, took the running game that Byron Center had going early and negated that, and the rest is history.
What a feeling it must be for Jermaine Gonzalez. He did it as a player, as an All-American quarterback, and now he's done a classy move out there congratulating all those kids at Byron Center who just had their hearts broken, but still, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, no doubt, proved they were the best team in Division II with an incredible physical up front and talented backfield where they relied on their ground attack, and it didn't let them down.
You know what's impressive, too, thinking about Birmingham Grove, so I watched in a really good game against De La Salle, that De La Salle team beat this Orchard Lake team, Orchard Lake St. Mary's team during the year, and Groves beat them. So I think those 3 teams, along with Byron Center, were definitely the elite teams of Division II. But obviously, I think St. Mary's peaked here today, and I think this is probably as good as effort they've had the entire season.
Natalie Kerwin is with one of the stars for St. Mary's.
Bryson Williams, 2 touchdowns, a state champion. Is there a greater feeling than accomplishing this?
No. No, there's no greater feeling. That's what we've been dreaming of since November.
He's the best athlete in Michigan, and you guys need to get at him because he's the GOAT.
No, there's no greater feeling than this. Shoot, all the hard work is finally paid off. You know, that's what we've been waiting for. So.
Your quarterback coming in, showing you some love, saying you're the best player in Michigan, Mr. Football Award, which will get announced next week. For you, over 100 yards rushing. What was working for you tonight?
Here's number 5, but my lineman blocking for me and just keeping the good energy. You know, we preached all day we had to be more physical up front. We were physical up front, and I did what I needed to do.
Darren Jones, let's bring you in here. Come on, you're the other 2 part of this lethal running attack. Man, for you guys to accomplish this and bring a state championship back home to Orchard Lake St. Mary's, to do this together as seniors, is there a better person to go out than with this guy right here?
This is my guy right here. This is my dog. We hang around at school. We do everything together. This is my guy. It's special to go out with Bryson Williams. So, yes, sir.
You know, 4 and 5 going to win you the game. That's what we've been preaching all year. Yes, 4 and 5 going to win you the game.
Yes, sir.
We talked about the offensive linemen, how huge they were up front for you guys, but your defense, I mean, huge takeaway in the 3rd quarter that led to your touchdown, Bryson. I mean, talk about those guys and the effort they had.
Yeah, our defense really just stepped it up all year. You know, we shut out a lot of teams. We had a lot of shutouts, and then our team, they just stepped it up, you know.
Yeah, our defense been playing great all year, you know. They came on and scored, had a lot of energy, you know. But second half, we came on and dominated, held them only one touchdown. That's what we needed to do.
All right, I need you both looking into the camera together. State champions, how does that sound?
Amazing. Let's go. Let's go.
Go celebrate with your guys. Congratulations.
Nelly, they may have 4 and 5 on their jerseys, but they are 1 and 2 here tonight, and their team is number 1. Tomorrow, 4 more will be crowned. In Division 7, it starts at 9:30, followed by the Division 3 state championship game, then Division 5 and Division 1. I hope you can join us for all the action all Saturday long. Now, for my partner Rob Rubik and Natalie Kerwin and our entire crew, I'm Matt Shepard saying so long from Ford Field. St. Mary's crowned Division II champion for the 9th time in the history of the school. They win a football state championship, and they did it in downtown Detroit on a Thanksgiving weekend in 2024.